Hey, what's up, people? Do I have a mic? Is my mic on? Sorry. What's up, guys? Welcome to the garage. Let's do it. Let's talk. Let's talk movies. Let's talk Oscars. I put therapy session in the description of the video, title of the video. I don't know if you guys have been grieving the last few days, or if you've been extremely happy, or if you just don't care. But either way, wanted to see if you guys had any questions. We've been kind of snowed in here where I am, so the last few days it's like I wish it was actually snow, but it's like an ice storm. So, not safe to drive, that kind of thing. So, my kids, of course, because we're in North Carolina, are out of school. So, dealing with that. But Logan's inside, got the PlayStation babysitting him, and Luke's passed out upstairs. What's up, Courageous? What's up, SEW? And of course, Yaney, what is up? We need to get a hot tub in the garage. Maybe we can do that for a live stream for the cure. Why is that thing so big covering my face? Jesus, Yaney. Is that your fault? Let me bring that down here. I don't know why it resizes it every time. I say that every time too because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go back and fix it, and then I never do. It just does it again every time. All right, maybe we'll do it like that. I think maybe is that too big still? So what's up, guys? So what questions do you guys have? I don't know how long I will go tonight. I have a lot of editing to do, and actually, the member comment that's on the channel there, Christianity, he'll tell you that I don't sleep very well at night. So I'm probably going to be up for a few hours doing some editing for the upcoming Garage Awards, which, by the way, look. So I'm waiting to hear back from a couple presenters, but you guys can see firsthand here. So these are the presenter envelopes, right? And they're the real deal, man. Look, they're like sealed. And you open them up, they're like the Oscar envelope. And there's like a card inside with the winner on it. These are being mailed to the presenters. And these are the two that I'm waiting to get their mailing address for these two categories. All the other ones got sent out. And they'll be presenting the awards, 11 film categories that my members chose the nominees for. I don't accept responsibility for the Marty Supreme snub this year. And February 17th, we'll be announcing the winners for that. So make sure you subscribe and do all that. And let's see what's going on here. I see Steve Kite made it. Oh, my God. Steve, brother. Big fan of yours, and he's saying that because we are always interacting on social media on Letterboxd and stuff, but he always misses any live stream I have. So that's awesome that you're in here. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. LG, how you doing? You're updating your personal nomination, so this is a perfect live video while I do that. There you go. Maybe you can give me some pointers to what to do. I'll have some questions for you guys too. A lot of pundits don't do this. They do these live streams and then they answer questions, which of course I'll do that, but it's all my opinion. But I like to seek advice too from people that do this all the time. Like I know Courageous does it all the time. A lot of people here are always doing predictions, updating them. SCW. I see Ryan's in the house. Wait a minute, what? 90 minutes earlier. Oh, you mean because they're doing it at 7 a.m.? Yeah, I did my BAFTA predictions video, Ryan. I don't know if you saw that or who saw that, but I thought they were doing them at 3 o'clock in the morning because I was trying to figure out the time difference in my head. My wife went to London recently, and she was helping me, and then we asked Alexa. Oh, I got to be careful. She might pipe up back here. So I thought it was going to be 3 o'clock in the morning, but I guess it's going to be 7 a.m. Now, that's early as shit, right? Especially if you're on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast, so it would be 7 a.m. my time. But that's the bad news. The good news is, I don't know if it's good news, but the convenient news is my son Luke, my little one, is always up before 7. I don't think he's ever seen... He's never not been up before 6:30 a.m. in his life, so I will probably be awake for them, but that doesn't mean he's going to let me come out here and do a full-blown reaction when they happen. So my inclination, because I thought they were going to be at 3 o'clock in the morning, my inclination was that I will let my sons read them to me like I did for the CCAs when I had to work all day, and then Logan and Luke read the nominees to me. I don't know if you guys saw that a few weeks back. So I was thinking I might do that because I'll miss them, but since I will be awake, depending on how my 6-year-old's doing, I might go over there and see what's up. I see we got a super chat. By the way, if you guys want me to prioritize any questions or anything like that, throw a super chat because sometimes I get a ton of comments and I talk too much. So by the time I get to them, I mean, it'll be the BAFTA nomination. So who knows? Let's see what we got over here. Oh, it's my boy Toller. Toller, what's up, brother? You didn't have to do that, man. Thanks so much. He says 16 nominations for Sinners is the wildest thing you've seen since Starfleet Academy. Is that the show you're covering now? I saw some of your thumbnails about it not being good, but I don't know what that is. I don't watch a lot of TV though, so that's my excuse. But Yeah, it's crazy. We'll use this as a little bit of a segue, and then I'll go over to some comments about Sinners and breaking the record and stuff. I'm okay with it, but even when I did my predictions, I said 15. Actually, I think I changed it to 14 because I took it out of VFX at the last second, which it also got, by the way. So I had it getting 14. I had one battle getting 13 when I did my predictions. So I knew it was going to tie the record, or I suspected it was going to tie the record. But I feel like if it had been Sinners or One Battle, which of course it was, but if it had been one of those two when the record was broken, that makes sense. Like, I'm completely fine if it was one of those two films. If it had been a situation like last year and Amelia Perez had broken the record, that would have been a horrible historical footnote in Oscars history. But since it was Sinners, we're good. Like, that's a stellar film that blends genres. It's got the auteur aspect. Ryan Coogler is definitely one of the best we've got working today from the director's chair. And I love how pure he is about the cinema, the form of cinema and the theatrical experience. So that's a good one. It's not like a Netflix movie or like some like marginally reviewed film, that half the people hate, half the people love. So I think that's great. So I'm okay with it. I am surprised by it, though. I'm interested to see what you guys think. If I see any questions over in the chat, I will try to answer as much as I can. But I might be asking you guys some questions, too, because I'm going to be looking at my BAFTA predictions before I go to bed tonight, just to make sure that I did make a couple like last second changes that are going to be different from my video. Let me go back up here to where I left off when I saw Ryan's comments. Oh, you're talking about for the Garage Awards. Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll be announcing those on the 17th. Man, it's my wife really helps me with the results of that, and I don't see them until like the last minute. But I saw some of not all of them, but I saw some of the results, and you guys definitely leaned one way, and we got a lot of votes this year. This is the 8th year, I think, that I've done this, only the 3rd year on YouTube, and we got like triple the votes this year than we've ever gotten for the Garage Awards. We got a lot. Almost 1,000 votes came in for this thing. So that's crazy. I did not expect that. So I'm excited to see what turns out, too. But I know from the few that I've seen that it's going to lean one way, which is great. The BAFTAs are... I have my timeline. Did somebody answer that for her over there yet? Let me see if I have my awards count. Actually, I do. I just put it. I'm such a geek, but I have it like in my literal calendar. That's how I need to be at the Pulse. It's on the 22nd of February. So an easy way to remember that is that was the 22nd of January was the Oscar nominations. So the 22nd of February is the BAFTAs. They announce the nominations tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern time in the U.S. because it's happening in Britain, which is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think, or noon maybe. But the ceremony is on the 22nd. So what we got? So for award season, we have that one. We have the Indie Spirit Awards on the 15th. I'll do some predictions for that too, although that one's really hard to call usually. The DGA and PGA winners will be announced on the 8th of February. They're not always, but they're usually on a Sunday, so you can always kind of look at the Sunday and see what's going on. And then what do we have? And then we have the BAFTA Noms tomorrow. Oh, the WGA nominations come out tomorrow too for the Writers Guild. That one's a little weird because, what's up, Smash? I see you. Thanks for being here, channel member. The WGA is weird. Like, even when I did my video not even 2 days ago, I was like reading through a couple websites that I follow, and it said sentimental value was eligible, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to predict sentimental value. That's obviously getting in, right? And then like 2 hours later, a couple comments were like, I don't think it's eligible. And then one site said it wasn't, and the site that I had been on said it was, and I did a little more research, and it turns out it's not eligible. So obviously, I'm not predicting sentimental value, but the WGA, I don't understand it, first of all. So I know I have some regulars to my channel that are in the WGA, and if any of you watch this in the future or you're here now, let me know what the hell's going on over there, because I don't know what deems a movie ineligible, and it kind of drives me crazy. But I know some movies that are like front runners right now are not even going to be eligible to win the WGA. So let's see. Smash says she wondered if Carey Mulligan could take the nom over Emily Watson. I mean, yeah, they love her, and so do I. I mean, Carey Mulligan is a crowd favorite over there, but so is Emily Watson. So that's a rock'em sock'em robot situation, Which one's standing at the end? I don't know. I picked Emily Watson just because I feel like that's a stronger film, big time. That might actually win Best Film over there, Best British Film, if not both. So that's why. I mean, she's got a bit of they both actually have kind of similar screen time roles in those films, though. I love The Ballad of Wallace Island, but I just feel like that one might be a little more underseen than Hamnet. So I decided to go with Watson, but They could both miss. They could both get in. I mean, who the hell knows? Let's see. SCW says, is Paltrow getting BAFTA? Yeah, I thought about predicting her, actually, because I was like, it's going to be weird to me that the season is going to come and go without Gwyneth getting something for her, like, big comeback in a prestige film. So I thought about throwing that her way, because this would really be her last stand. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel great about it, SCW. I don't feel great about it, but it definitely could happen. It definitely could happen. I can, let's see what I got. I tell you what, I would bring this up, actually. Can I bring it up? Let me bring it up. We're all friends here. If this doesn't work, I'll disconnect it. I think it's going to work, though. Let's see. Let me get to my awards expert app on here, and I'll bring that up real quick. And then we can look at it together, because I was going to finalize some predictions. If I hear the super chat jingle go off, I'll jump to it, but give me a second, and I'll pop back and forth with the chat. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick, if I can get it to work. And if so, we can look at it together. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Let's see. Let me add. That's not it. Let me change it to my. There's two of me. You guys are thrilled about that, I'm sure. Let me change it to my phone here. Did it work? Yeah, but I don't like it being a circle. Let me change that. Tall, maybe? How's that? Can you guys see that? That's good, right? All right, so let me do that. Move it up a little bit. Alrighty, I think you guys can see that. Okay, yeah, you can see it. What in the world? Oh, because I did a post. That's the first post I ever did, by the way, on there. I didn't even know that section existed till today. I was like, what is this? Some of you guys are wild on there, by the way. All right, so that's Oscars. Let me go to BAFTA real quick, because this is what we're talking about. Okay, so I'll scroll through this a little bit, but this is kind of what I'm looking at right this second. I do have Nuremberg being kind of a crazy thing in a couple categories. I know some people have Marty Supreme in there. I had I Swear in there for a minute with the whole British tie-in. Begonia is even a possibility. It's weird they do 5 there, because that makes it really tough. Because it could be any combination. It could be. I think Hamnet, One Battle, and Sinners are safe, and really Sentimental Value too, so it's kind of the 5th spot. But all these got a lot of mentions on their long list. Nuremberg just seems BAFTA coded to me. Definitely more so than Marty Supreme. Can you guys still see me? Because I just got an error message. I don't think that's for this, though. I think that was for my Java. Hopefully I'm still live. Let me go through some of the comments here. But what are you guys putting in that 5th spot for BAFTA film over there? And then I'll see if there's any questions in the chat while I'm scrolling through here. I see your response there, Toller, about Starfleet Academy. Yeah, I didn't watch that one. I don't watch anything. There was a show that just came out that I was like, I'm going to fucking watch that. What was it? I did watch The Studio with Seth Rogen. I watched that one. Courageous, you're doing yours now. Well, this is good then. We'll brainstorm this together. In fact, let's match on everything. That'll work out well. Let's do that. Let's see. I'm scrolling through the comments, and like I said, if there's any super chats, I'll prioritize them, but I'm just making sure if there's any questions. And then I want to see if there's anything pertinent to the Best Picture at the BAFTAs here. Yeah, right. I saw that too. Yeah. Do you guys want me to do a Razzie thing? I'm not going to do it this year because I missed it. I guess I could do they didn't do the winners yet, right? Did they do the Razzie winners yet, or just the nominations? I thought about being the awards garage, that maybe I should do that. But I haven't. So I don't know if you guys want me to do that or not. The Razzies were always kind of weird to me. That one year that they made fun of the 12-year-old or whatever, I was like, all right, we need to dial this back a little bit, But I never really follow it very closely. Oh my God, is it not? I think I put that in there. Jesus, are you serious, Smash? Hold on a second. Did I put that in my WGA? I think I did. Good God in heaven. What would that be? No, I didn't put it in. Okay. What would that be? Original? That'd be original, right? I think. Okay, I must have taken that out too. But yeah, I'm surprised by that too. What's up, Juliana? How are you? There was rumors that Ariana. Anytime I see Ariana, I'm like, what is this saying? Ariana Grande didn't get nominated because of her creepy relationship with Cynthia. Oh, I don't know. I don't think that. I don't buy into all that stuff. I'm sad enough with how it turned out that I'm not gonna who knows? I mean, they did amazing work. They're one of my favorite cinematic duos in the last 20 years. So I'm confident in that. I don't need to buy into the page 6 rumors or whatever. I mean, that's possible, but I don't think it did enough to hurt it to the level of 0 nominations like we saw on nominations morning. Good God in heaven. I'm not taking down my Ariana poster. It's staying up for at least the next year. So there you go. She's got that. Let's see. I'm looking for LOL. Yeah, that's true too. And they don't shy away from. I mean, we were talking about Amelia Perez earlier, right? I mean, there was a lot of shit around that movie, so who cares? Okay, here we go. We're getting into some stuff here. I think people are putting too much stock in Wumi's victory, which is me, by the way. And I don't know if you know that, but I have her as, what did I put here? Let me go back. BAFTA. Okay, so I have her, well, this is nominees, but at this current moment, I have her winning. She may be British, but she's in a stupidly American movie, which could hurt her. I don't know if stupidly is the right word there, Anthony. Hang tight. But I think it's a very strong movie, whether you like it or not. Now, to your point, though, that's one of the reasons why I went a little less crazy on movies like Marty Supreme, even One Battle to a certain extent, although I still have it getting 11, as you can see there, 11 nominations. But yeah, all these American films aren't going to be showing up all over the place. And the way the voting worked for the BAFTAs with the cutoff times, they didn't see the Oscar nominations before they finished their nominees. And some people, not anybody in the chat necessarily, but some people lose their way in that in terms of trying to decipher that. They're like, oh my God, it just broke the record. So of course it's going to get this, and that. But that already happened. They had already finished voting. So you have to kind of like put yourself back when you're thinking about it. Smash says she saw the Nuremberg stuff, which is a real possibility. I keep wondering if Begonia, Yorgos got on the list for director. So, and they love Yorgos, previous nominee multiple times, I'm pretty sure. Steve Kite says Begonia might be the 5th spot. Okay, because I thought about that. So let me go back here. What did I have as a near miss here? So at Nuremberg, if I'm leaving Sinners in, which I think I would kind of be, even if it misses, I would kind of be crazy not to put that in, I think. I don't think Marty and Sinners get into a field of 5 at the BAFTA. I don't know why. I just have trouble kind of seeing that. Of course, it could happen. So I think it would be Nuremberg, I Swear, or Begonia. They do love GDT, too. Ballad of Wallace Island got a lot. That's why I said it could be any. It could literally be any film in the 5th spot. I like that. I like the Begonia thing. I wonder if I just change that. I don't know. I kind of want to do the Nuremberg thing too, Steve, and Smash, because I was like one of the only people that I even knew of that was like, oh, Nuremberg's coming for some Oscars when I saw it. I mean, because it was SPC, it was Sony Pictures Classics. Russell Crowe, previous winner. Very like wartime Oscar feel to it. Rami Malek, previous winner, very recently. Great text in the movie. It even got a lot of makeup mentions, which when I was watching it, I didn't even expect. And then I was like, oh yeah, it kind of makes sense, I guess. So I thought it was going to be a really strong player that kind of fizzled out, and now it's kind of having a mini resurgence at some other shows. So I don't know. I kind of want to be the one that hung on to that as like it was going to be something this season. So I don't know, but I could very easily see it being really any of the other ones. Marty, Begonia. I haven't seen I Swear, and I tried to watch it today, actually, before the BAFTA nominations. It's not available in the U.S., or at least I couldn't find it. So if anybody knows how to find I Swear, the film, drop a link in the chat for me, because I want to watch that thing, preferably before the BAFTAs, but I don't know if I'll get a chance to. But I like that idea of Begonia. I do, and Smash said the same thing. So maybe I'll do that. Will you guys, like, be upset if it's Nuremberg, though, and I change it? You feel like, Gerald had it. We fucked that all up. That's what you'll say to yourself. You probably won't say that, but. Cheers. Anybody else snowed in? Anybody else in like the Midwest or the East Coast this week? Iced in, snowed in, whatever. Christmas Jones also says Begonia. Yeah, I love Begonia. I prefer it. I liked Nuremberg, though. I did like it. A lot more than some, honestly, but I do prefer Begonia. Let's see here. Joey says, I have Hamnet, One Battle, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Marty. Yeah. You could be right, and that's actually a stellar lineup. I can't put Sinners and Marty in the same 5 at the BAFTA. It's just too much America for me. It could happen, and then you have One Battle too, right? So that's 3 American-centric films and 2 international-centric films with Hamden and sentimental value. So that's just too lopsided for me and my like mentally for me. Could it happen? Of course, and that would actually be probably the best 5, honestly. But yeah, that's why I'm kind of staying away from those 2 together, and I don't think Sinners misses. Yes, SEW. Yes, I don't think I had him though. No, because I got that RMAO dude. I don't know. Cole and Justin said he's getting in too. I don't know anything about that movie. Doesn't he play like somebody with a disability or something like that? Let me see if I click on it. I was just going to give his. Does anybody know about that film? I swear, does anybody? I'll scroll through the comments. Yeah, I think he plays like a. Let's see. Maybe he's on the spectrum or something like that. Let's see. Oh no, Tourette's. He has Tourette's. Is that actor? So that's John Davidson is who he plays. Yeah, so he's a 15-year-old with Tourette's, and I guess this might be based on a true story too. I think. So it sounds very like there's a lot of meat on those bones. So that's why I'm like, I don't know, could be him sneaking in there. Plus, if he's British, it's a British film. But you know, you can't count out Russell Crowe. The guy knows what he's doing. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go through these, see if there's any questions. Oh wait a minute, I didn't see Matt. So Matt did his too, huh? Okay, I didn't know that. Dude, I love Cody. Cody's my guy. He's a presenter too, by the way. At the Garage Awards this year. What's he presenting? Oh, he's doing Best Horror Movie, which he requested. So he's going to be presenting the award for Best Horror at my award show. But yeah, I didn't know Matt did some. I'm mad at him for Kate Hudson. So me and Matt are not on speaking terms right now. I'm just kidding. I'm not mad at him. But I said on my reaction video that I blamed him, and he like hit me up. I'm like, dude, I was just kidding. I don't blame you. Yeah. He usually has his finger on the pulse there. So I got to look and see what Matt's got in there. I don't think I follow him with Award Expert though, or he might not be on there. I can't remember. But okay. So Jordan wants to know who's winning BAFTA for Best Actor. Well, obviously I don't know, but I've got Timmy doing it right now because I'm thinking a Timmy sweep with a little asterisk on the SAG. He could miss SAG because he won it last year. You know, he should still technically win it if we're just basing it on Marty Supreme. But some other stuff might factor into that as, you know, it's kind of like what Wicked went through, right? It's only been a year. And they just voted for him for A Complete Unknown, and he won there. And he gave that speech that I didn't have any issue with. But, you know, a lot of people did. And it kind of rubbed people the wrong way. And then the Marty Supreme character kind of embodies the speech that he gave. So it's kind of like a continuation of what maybe they didn't like. So I don't know. I don't feel as great about it at the BAFTA. At the SAG, I'll probably still predict it. But I've currently got him winning the BAFTA. But to answer your question, I have no fucking idea because the BAFTAs are usually pretty hard to predict, honestly. Especially the way the timeline shakes out this year. They kind of do their own thing, you know? Ethan Hawke's a possibility, and Leo, those two really on their name, honestly. And, you know, Blue Moon won't be in Best Picture. I don't have Marty Supreme in Best Picture. So it could end up being Leo for one battle, if that's in Best Picture. I don't think Michael B. Jordan gets it. I would love it, but I don't think he'll get it. So, you know, I mean, like, who asked me that a second ago about Russell Crowe? SCW, I think. I mean, he could get it, and I don't even have him getting nominated. I mean, that's how it's kind of hard to call. Yeah, this is true. Christmas. Yeah, that is absolutely true. I do like Josh Parham too. Yeah, I do like him. He nailed it too. Did you guys see that? It was Josh Parham, right? That got like 110 out of 125 or something. I was like, what? How the hell did you do that, brother? Some of that was probably luck, but still, yeah, I like him too. I like a lot of the peeps over there at MVP. Let's see. I'm just trying to figure out the nominations. Once I figure that out, then I'll predict who wins. Yeah, same here. That's kind of what I do too. So this is a different comment. I thought you were saying something else. I liked Wicked 2 after not enjoying the first one, but I predicted it only for visual effects and song. Are you talking about at the Oscars, or are you talking about here at the BAFTAs? So Wicked, do me a favor, and if you guys are going through your predictions today or tonight, all this happened, all the results that we're going to see tomorrow morning happened before the Oscars gave their nominations. Okay? So voting ended like 4 or 5 days before they announced the nominees. So they have no idea Wicked missed there. And I'm talking about in terms of results. Now, if they knew that, and if they knew Sinners broke the record, and Ethan Hawke got in, and I mean, like, whatever, then that could influence the way they vote, right? Especially with the crossover with the international. But they didn't. So I've got Wicked still getting 4 nominations. I do have it in 5th place as the one that would miss in all of those categories. But I've got it getting production design, costume design, makeup, and visual effects. And I think that was it. And Ariana. I kept her in. Fuck it. YOLO. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Ariana Grande. It's my queen. Did I have her in? Yeah, I have her in. So she's in. Amy Madigan could miss too, by the way. There's a horror bias there. Weapons didn't get anything. So that's the question that Smash and somebody else asked earlier about Gwyneth Paltrow. That's how she gets in if Amy Madigan misses. And obviously Ariana Grande. So then you have, what do you have? Then you have Odessa and Gwyneth. You have Gwyneth and Carrie. Who knows? Because I think those top 4 right there are safe. I think. You could take Emily Watson out if you're doing the whole screen time game, but they love her. And she's British, I think. Hamnet's definitely a British film. So I feel really good about those first 4, but those last 2, I don't know. But there's no way I'm not going to say Ari, because all that Oscar shit happened after they did it. Now, if not, I probably would not have predicted her, because it would have been too, like, okay, you're insane. I think I got a super chat, didn't I? By the way, I love when you guys do super chats. Well, first of all, I love the support. Oh, thanks, Easty. I see you, brother. I love the support, first of all, but Mikey pops up on my thing. Should I change that for this season? I was going to ask you guys, because she's my Best Actress winner, Honora, right? I have my little thing back here, too. I have a poster that you guys can't see off camera, but yeah, that's my Honora. But that's my pop-up for Super Chats. I wonder if I should change it this year. Maybe we'll wait and see who wins, right? Who would be Jessie Buckley? I can't have her crying. Somebody that's a Super Chat. So I have like Mikey in Vegas right now. I think that's good. Let's see what Easty says here. Good to see you again, buddy. Hey, Gerald, I tried to message you on Insta around July about a collab. Oh, you did? But you didn't see it. Is there any way you can check? Absolutely, brother, but I'm going to forget. So you know what? I didn't even fucking know that, dude. You know what, though? Let me tell anybody that's listening, since he brings up a point here. And I am so sorry, Easty. There is no way, especially if I'd seen your name, because you're a channel regular. You're always here. You're always supporting me. I would have fucking hit you back immediately. I didn't even know that. So let me tell anybody that's listening, don't quote me on this, but I think maybe somebody can check. I think I'm not on YouTube right now. I think somebody could check, but on YouTube in the description is my email address. And it's just the awardsgarage@gmail. That's the easiest way to contact me. And I don't have that email going to my phone like my work and other stuff. Let me see. Easty, IG, message. I'm writing it literally in a handwritten note next to my computer, Easty. So as soon as we're done with this, before I go to bed tonight, I got some editing and stuff to do. I will check that and I will hit you back, brother. I'm so sorry. I literally did not see that. But the reason I bring that up is because there's a lot of social medias that I have that I'll like get in these stages with, and I'll like play with them for a long time, and then I'll like not do anything with them for like a month, and then I'll like come back to them. So like Instagram is one of those that I have my personal Instagram that even that I don't use that much, but my daughter's on it and stuff, so I go on there a lot. But my Awards Garage Instagram, I don't switch over to that maybe once a month, and I just didn't see that message. I'm so sorry. Plus I get a lot of like random messages that try to sell me stuff or whatever a lot too. So I probably just missed it, man. But thank you for the super chat, and I will absolutely hit you back. And I'm all about collabing. You guys know that. I just talked to my boy Fuji tonight. If anybody was with me last season, you guys know that we do an Oscar swap series, and we're doing that again this year. So we're going to fix the nominees in some of the categories. And I talked to him tonight about scheduling that. So that's my dude. But thanks, man. I appreciate the super chat. Let me go through these and see what else we got. But I want to see what you guys say about this category too. I think this category, you know, I talked about this a little bit when I was doing my predictions. The supporting acting categories, really in both of them, but definitely actress, are like nail-bitingly suspenseful this year. If you think about it. Here, I'll go to the Oscars real quick. I mean, really, the BAFTA too, but let me go to the Academy Awards real quick. Who's doing 2028 Academy Award predictions? I'm not going to click on that because I don't want to be mad at you guys if you did that. Don't do that yet, please. Even I'm not doing that, although I will be diving into the 2027 ones in a couple months. Supporting actress at the Oscars, right? Okay, look. This is what we got when we got our nominees, which is a great group. I haven't messed with it yet. Teyana's still the front runner. I think, you know, Even if you disagree or whatever, I would think most people would say she's still a front runner. Amy Madigan's got a lot of support because of the narrative and her performance being so iconic, and she's got the CCA already, will probably get the SAG or has a good chance to get the SAG. And then you have Inga with the international piece, right? Wound Me, I think, as you guys saw, could win the BAFTA. So could Inga. Those are probably the two that I think stand the biggest chance to win the BAFTA right now as I'm sitting here. And honestly, whichever one of them wins the BAFTA will probably be the one I predict to win the Oscar. The only reason would be if Teyana upsets somebody like Amy Madigan at the SAG, and Teyana has SAG and Globe, and then whoever that other person is only has the BAFTA. Then you might still go, okay, well, you know, is it Inga in a movie that they loved, but it's not as strong as One Battle? So then you have to take the strength of the film. What's One Battle going to win? What's PTA going to have in the basket? You know, you guys make fun of me. I talk about the basket, right? What are they going to have? And what's sentimental value going to have? Maybe Stellan Skarsgård, probably, right? What else? I think I had it. I think that's all I had it winning, honestly. I'm trying to remember. Maybe a second one that I can't place right now. But obviously One Battle is going to have probably 4 or 5, maybe more wins on the night. So, you know, it's a strategic thing when you're predicting. Versus on the night of, when you can go, oh, this is what's happening. Like an hour into the show, you can basically call it. But, you know, it's too late then if you're doing predictions. And, okay, let's see what Christian says here. He says, if Wumi wins the BAFTA, which is what I'm currently saying, and Amy wins SAG, which is what I'm currently saying, who's winning the Oscar? Amy. I still find it hard for her to win with her being the only nomination for the film. Wumi is strong enough if she wins BAFTA. That is absolutely, you could copy paste what Christian is saying there. That's exactly what I think. The only thing I'll add to what he's saying there, I agree with everything he says. The only thing I would say is if Inga wins the BAFTA, just insert the blank where he says Wound Me. Wound Me might be a little bit more confidence behind her winning because of the strength of Sinners versus sentimental value. But that's exactly what I think I'm going to do. So we will have to wait and see how it shakes out, because if Amy doesn't win the SAG, who wins it? That really becomes a question, right? Because if it's Teyana Taylor, she's strong. Like that's like that's when you stop and go, okay, they fucking love this. She's winning this. Perfidia, you know. If she doesn't win it, she shows weakness. If it's Amy Madigan, not that it doesn't show strength for Amy Madigan, but it's like we kind of knew she was going to win that because they love a fucking narrative there. And I'm not downplaying her performance. A lot of people misunderstood that last year when I was predicting Demi Moore to get the SAG, because I was talking about her narrative. And of course it was a great performance. I love the substance. I'm a horror guy, like, you know. So people that don't know me kind of misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm just saying they love that added piece of having a narrative. So Amy Madigan has that above all else, everybody else in that category. So, you know, if you're in the race for supporting actress, let me just put it this way, you don't want Teyana Taylor to win the SAG. That's all I'm going to say. We're going back to BAFTA. So, yeah. I'm going to scroll through some of these. You guys see what my alarm is set? My wife is going to the airport at 5 a.m., but she's driving herself. I told her I'd get up and take her, but, you know. So this is, I'm still in the Oscars. Let me go to BAFTA. Let's see. So you're asking about actress, right? So I have Tessa in. I have Tessa and Jennifer Lawrence. I did Jennifer Lawrence because I'm stupid, because I love that performance. It's my favorite performance of the year. You know, they love Lynn Ramsey movies. When I did my video, I was doing some research, and they've nominated her film 7 times at the BAFTAs. You know, Tilda Swinton got a nomination. They love her. So I think, thank God, somebody does. The Oscars surely don't. So I think that might propel J-Law to get a nomination there. She got the Globe nomination, so maybe. Chase Infinity might be too young. She's also in the Rising Star category, so they know that. So maybe they're like, oh, she's one of the rising stars. We don't need to put her in there. So, yeah, I've got Tessa in right now. They love her too, and that's a very British type role. Kate Hudson, I don't want to do it. All right, that's fine. You know, she could get in. She's gotten it everywhere. So she got on the long list. So she could absolutely be in there. Let's see. Oh, you're in Brazil, so you don't have any snow out there. You're not snowed in, Mateo. Everybody else, snow and ice. Yeah, I think that could happen, man. I also have it in screenplay. Sunny saying she took out Marty for Begonia. I assume you're talking about the BAFTAs. And, yeah, that's a good call. I didn't put Begonia. I put Nuremberg in, but that's a good call because I just don't. Now, it could happen. I could be completely wrong, but I just don't see Marty and Sinners and One Battle in the BAFTA lineup of 5. That just seems really like not BAFTA to me. Christmas got snow and ice too. I see you there. I see you. Let's see. If Lawrence misses that nomination, I will be so mad. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. I'm reading some of these. Okay, so it is Tourette's. All right. Or you're saying you have Tourette's, or you're telling me about the I swear. I never know with you, Yanni. Let's see. Joey says, didn't work. Did it work? For Best Picture, I still need to see Hamnet and Secret Agent. Hopefully they'll play in your area soon. Yeah, I hope so. Different films. Very different films. Although both pretty emotional, but, different eras and types of emotions. But got the little Mick Ultra nightcap going on out here, guys. Downtown Toronto. What is up, Paul? How you doing? Thanks for being here. Wait a minute. Whoa, hang on a second. All-time snow record? What? That's what you have right now? 2 feet of snow? I didn't see this. Oh, my God. That's a lot. I thought we had a lot with like a ½ inch, which around here, that is 2 feet. Let me see. Sunny Bear wants to know, who do I have winning PGA? Sinners winning, because I can't see One Battle winning with that much of a financial loss. They do love movies that make money over there. I don't know that I did my official one, but let me see what I have in there right now. PGA, I think of what their trend usually is. I would probably say, I did it back on the 6th. So I do have One Battle right now, but that's not locked in. I went 10 for 10 though, which is good. When I did those predictions, yeah, I could definitely see an argument for Sinners for sure. I mean, it made a shit ton of money. And what else would it be if you're looking at box? I mean, nothing. I mean, F1 really, probably the next in line, right? I mean, One Battle made a lot of money, but it didn't make a lot of profit. So, I mean, what are the producers doing? So I don't disagree with that mentality, but they do love movies that are a financial success. And unfortunately, with the age of cinema that we live in, there's not a lot of those, especially in like Oscar lineups and stuff. So, yeah, this right here could definitely end up happening. I don't disagree with that. I think it's one of the two, though. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I mean, I guess the spoiler could be F1, which would be fucking weird. But I guess it could be. If they're, like, leaning heavily to, like, oh, what was the success? What did crowds enjoy? But, yeah, I think it's one of those two, Sinners or One Battle, which I know is kind of a cop-out answer. But right now, I don't know. I'll have to lock it in before, what did I tell you? February 8th, I think, is when they announce it. So, Ryan says he's been binge-watching Jesse Buckley films. I didn't see Wicked Little Letters. I'm bummed, too, because I had a screener for that last year. I didn't check it. Lost Daughter is really good. Beast is crazy. I love that one. Wild Rose was probably one of her best. Did you see Men? I didn't like the movie Men as a whole, but there were some things in there that were really fascinating. Like, that was a movie where it was like, and that's Alex Garland, who I love, but there was, like, bits and pieces of that movie, like, over the course of the 2-hour film, there's probably like 40 minutes of it that were just like mesmerizing to me. Like at certain scenes and stuff and performances like hers that I loved. But the movie as a whole, I was just kind of like, I wish the rest of it had kind of kept the same aura that I felt in certain scenes. But she was really good in Men too. She's one of the best, man. I'm glad that it looks like it's going to be her year. I really am. Why in God's name would Anthony put this out into the world? What are we doing, man? What are we doing? Although, yeah. I went on a podcast, though. Let me ask you guys this real quick. I'm going to ask you real quick, because this got brought up to me on a podcast I went on last night. As a buddy of mine does a show. He's actually a channel member, but I haven't seen him in the chat tonight. But he had me come on to talk about the Oscar nominations, and he said that he thinks Chase may have missed, or I guess Kate may have surprised there because of category manipulation. And he feels like the Academy knew that Chase is not a lead role, and that's not the definition of a lead role, and that may have played into it a little bit. On top of, they're just biased against young women at the Academy. I mean, I know Mikey, my girl, won last year, but generally speaking, young men are usually okay. But even still, they don't really, they're not as successful as they, should be on at face value. So the youth part of it may have had something to do with it, I think. But the category manipulation and fraud, which we get every year, so that's kind of what I told him on the show. He kind of hit me with the question. I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe, but like we get that every year, including this year, you know. Paul Mescal missed, right, for Hamnet. Is he a lead? What do you guys think? I mean, he was in supporting. I know that, but I'm saying, is that a lead role? A lead male role? He missed. You had somebody like Delroy get in, who's obviously a supporting role. Tayana, obviously a supporting role. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Yes, SCW. Please, God in heaven. Who else is it, though? I got to pull up my thing. They don't put that in the Award Expert app. I can't remember. I had my thing set to share the. Let me share my Google with you guys. Can I do that? Is that going to be too many screens for you guys? Let me see what it looks like. Hang on. Let me see. I had this. Okay, so it takes my phone away for a second. Okay, so let me look at. Oh my God, can you guys see the rainbow of death? Or is that only me? Oh my God, it has the rainbow of death. All right, let's see. What were we going to look up? Oh yeah, the BAFTA Rising Star nominees. Oh my God, but Miles Caton's in there. It's got to be Chase though, right? So is Robert Aramayo though. You see that? I must have forgotten about that. Holy shit, what a group. Who's going to win that, guys? We vote in that, right? Like the public votes in that, I think. So, I think that's fan voted. Man. Who's this? Is this it? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so that's the dude from I Swear. We know Miles Caton's in there. Love that. And he won at the... What was it, the Critics' Choice, right? I think. There's my girl. God, what a queen. What an absolute divine being of nature. How did she miss? Oh, my God. You're telling me... Nah, never mind. I'm not going to get into the Kate Hudson thing again. Sorry. I love Kate Hudson, too. So it sounds bad, but I love her. But Songs on Blue is not my thing, you know. I like Archie, too. I love Saltburn, by the way. Me and like 10 people love Saltburn a couple years ago. House of Dynamite last year. It was like me and like 3 people. But I loved it. He was great in it. So I could see him winning, actually. He's had a really good year, too. And then who is Posey? What is she? Was she in anything I would have seen, though? Whoa, she was in the Outrun? What was she in the Outrun? You guys remember that? Thank you, Anthony. Give me 1 second. I'll swing over to see that, buddy. I don't know if I know her. She looks familiar, though. She's definitely the underdog in this category, though. I got to go with my girl right here. That might be my new screensaver, actually. Is that weird? I might do that. It's my girl right there. Let me go back to my phone view. Yeah, so I think Chase wins that. But, I mean, honestly, it could very easily be Miles Caton, without a doubt. Let me go back and see if this works. Where the hell was I? I was on this view, I think. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, I think Chase wins that. To answer SCW's question, let's see. Renee says, "Can you see the predictions for Best Actress?" Are you talking about for the BAFTAs, honey? Let me know. So you have Ari in your avatar, so you can see anything you want on here. So let me know if you're talking about Oscars or BAFTA. But I think you're talking about BAFTA. So I have Ari in supporting, if that's what you're asking. But I do have. Here's what I have for BAFTA, if that's what you're asking. So I put Tessa and Jennifer Lawrence in those last couple spots. I think the top 4 are safe. I don't think there's any issue with those top 4 getting in. I think those last 2 are interchangeable, though. But Chase I had in for a long time, but I took her out because she's in the Rising Star nominees. I mean, that could happen. It's happened before. But I took her out because she's there, so I'm like, all right, well, they're going to be awarding her already, or she's going to get an award already. You know, but maybe she still makes it if one battle is really strong. But I think the success of Lynn Ramsey films in general at the BAFTA is going to help Jennifer Lawrence. And they love her. She's a previous nominee. And then Tessa Thompson, that's a very, like, British-coded film. So that's what I have for lead actress. And just in case, Renee, you were talking about the Oscars. I'll pull that up real quick. We already have the nominees over there, but right now, obviously, I have Buckley winning. So that's why I assumed you were asking about the BAFTAs. But yeah, I have Buckley winning over there. Rose Byrne's going to have the same problem Amy Madigan's got with If I Had Legs Like Kiku doesn't have anything else. So really, Renate, in fact, I'll do this right now. Really, Renate Ronsva is probably the two there. Honestly. Just Rose Byrne's just got an uphill battle. You know, she would have to keep winning other stuff. And then you'd be like, oh, okay, we're good. We have a Kieran Culkin situation, you know. But right now, you can't really say that with what she has, even though she's easily one of the best performances. So I'll go back to BAFTA and then go through some of the comments. I got a super chat too. Let me head over there real quick because I don't want to upset my peeps. Let's see. Anthony says, Buckley's performance screams Oscar desperation, and that is guaranteed to rub me the wrong way. Looking at you, Timmy. Oh, man. A super chat. You never miss an opportunity, do you? Anthony's a channel member here on the screen for those that don't know, and he knows I love Timmy, so Timothy Chalamet. So that's fine. That's fine. Hey, it's fine. We'll see, man. I think Timmy might be on his way. I know Buckley's on our way to a sweep, or I feel 99% confident in that. Let's see. Hang on a second. Leo, I'm looking at you. Oh, you're talking about for Wagner when you said that. Okay, I'm just looking at your comment there, Sonny. Let's see. Dimsmo, I think is what it says. Did I comment on why SAG Ensemble Sinners is favored over One Battle? No, I didn't, but let me go there. Did I do those yet? Are you talking about because I did that in my predictions maybe? Because I do update them frequently, but let me see. SAG, here we go. I have, see, I haven't even, so I missed, what did I miss there? What didn't get in there? I missed something there. Let's see. So I need to update all this first of all, but oh, that's good. I don't even remember that. Jesus, this feels like so long ago now. I don't know why all this is like I'm seeing this for the first time. Like, oh my God, that got in. Sorry. So One Battle. Oh no, wait a minute. I had Sinners over One Battle, and that's what you're asking, right? Okay, so I don't know, and that may actually change it, but the SAG Ensemble Award a lot of times will go against the grain of what is considered the front runner to win film, right? So, and a lot of times it might be like that number 2 or number 3 even. You can think to Conclave. It does happen where it matches up. Of course, like Parasite's probably the best example. So, but there's a lot of times when it'll be like the runner-up for Best Picture gets the SAG Ensemble Award. I may change that because honestly, I don't know what's going to get Best Picture. But also when I'm thinking about the casting of those movies, Chase Infinity is a discovery, of course. But Sinners feels a little more eclectic and unique to me too. And the ensemble or the cast, like, in terms of like an ensemble, spends more time together on camera, if that makes sense. Whereas in One Battle, they're kind of in various pockets throughout the movie. And they don't really all come together, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 scenes in the bookends. That's just me thinking through it, though. I'm not saying the voters are sitting down necessarily thinking about all that stuff. So to answer your question, who was it? I'm sorry. Dimsmo. To answer your question, I don't really have a definitive answer as to why, and I may actually end up changing it. So that's something I'm going to have to look into. I think the SAGs are March 1st this year, which, by the way, is my son's birthday. He turned 7, so I got to ask him. I got to ask him if I watch the SAG Awards on his birthday. I don't know. He might not want me to. Maybe he'll watch them with me. That'd be fun. He'll be so bored. Oh, my God. Let's see what my girl Courageous has here. Kate Hudson is her film's only nomination, so I don't think she'll win. Yeah. There's a few that might suffer that fate this year. Yeah. I kind of agree with that. Let me go through some of these. Oh, thanks, Yanni. Yeah, Stu's been doing good stuff over there, man. I gave it a higher score than he did, but I actually wrote a script for No Other Choice for a channel review for that movie. When I saw it, I got a screener from Neon, and I never recorded it. And it was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm not doing a No Other Choice review on the channel. So I gave it a higher score than he did, but it was a really good review. Disruptive one, I see you. What's good, dog? I'm right here. Wait a minute. I'm on SAG. Yeah, what's good? I'm with you. It's her last stand, right? And like I said, they didn't see what happened at the Oscars. Not that that should have influenced in any way, but let's be real, it would have. They love the first one. You know, I've talked about Wicked and Ari a million times on this channel, so people that have watched this channel before know that I champion that performance. So I also am confident that, or let me put it this way, I'm confident that she should get in, especially at a body like the BAFTA that loves musicals, etc. So, you know, I don't know. Let's see. I got another biased Arinator here with me, Christian. He still has her in. He's biased, but it will happen. Elle is not on the long list, right? And Amy could miss. Yep. There, you know, that category, like I said earlier, I mean, you know, I love Ari, of course, but I mean, you could literally throw any of them in there. And you get 6. Inga's not competing with Elle. She's in. You know, even if Elle was in, you'd be like, oh, are they going to compete with each other? But they're not. So she's in. Like I said, I think that first 4 is good. You know, even Emily Watson, I feel great about with the heritage and or the lineage there. But those last 2 spots, you could literally pick any 2 of the remaining women, honestly. And I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. So right now I'm going with my queen and Amy Madigan. Although I think Amy does stand a high likelihood to miss, which would really hurt any momentum she had. I mean, think about it. Because obviously she got the CCA at the very beginning of the season, right? And then it's kind of like, all right, so are you going to ride that the whole way now? Are you going to ride that 2.5, 3 months now to the Oscars? I don't think so, especially in a film that's not like The Substance was, where it was like everywhere. It was showing, it was constantly in the conversation. Weapons, unfortunately, while it's been showing up on like shortlists and stuff, it's not translating to Oscars, or I mean to nominations. And I love Weapons. I love horror. So that would have been a huge win for us. And I, you know, love Amy Madigan in that movie. So I'm all about it. But yeah, I don't know. And if she misses BAFTA, she could still get the SAG win because of the narrative piece. But the BAFTA voting, or I'm sorry, the SAG voting, they'll know that. So they'll know she missed BAFTA. And they'll know she's only won the CCA. And that factors in probably mentally to them. Like, oh, she's slipping, you know. Other bodies didn't nominate her, so we don't have to. You know what I mean? Like some people might think that when it comes to the narrative piece, at least. I think the BAFTA would probably go with Gwyneth Courageous. I mean, honestly, based on what they do. I mean, that would be my like default answer, but I don't know. I mean, Odessa is really, as you know, you and I have talked about it in DMs before, is really strong in Murray Supreme. She made my top 5 performances of the year across like 1,000 performances I saw. And I didn't expect that to happen because I'm a Timothy guy. I love him. But she was ranked higher than he was for me on my performances of the year. I know you saw that video, but just so everybody else knows. So, I don't know. I mean, based on what they do, I would say Gwyneth, especially in the comeback situation. And, you know, they obviously like Murray Supreme. But I don't have either of them in right now because I don't know which one it would be. And I'm not going to take Ari out. And I think Amy Madigan squeaks in. I do. Let's see. Juliana says, I'll read through some of these real quick. Missed there. Some people are predicting because, yeah, that's true. And Sinners is already a horror, right? I mean, at least partially. So, or horror adjacent, whatever you want to call it. By the way, when I get off that BAFTA page, Chase is staring at me on my computer right here. You guys can't see it. Hold on, I'll show you. This is weird, but I love her. Let me show you. I'm looking down. I'm like, what is that? It was like, oh, it's Chase Infinity every time. Plus, I was going to pull up the Oscar nominations, too, and go over with you guys. It's going to take my phone off, but I'll go back to it if I need to. Make sure it works. Yeah, there she is. See, that's what's looking at me every time I look down here. Zach, what's up, brother? Thanks so much for your support, man. You're always showing up in the comments section and engaging with me, and I love your takes. What's up, dude? Hope you're still here. I know I'm slow getting through these comments. It says, you liked the assessment about Sean Penn the other day. What was that? Oh, you're talking about him in the... Zeitgeist, yeah, he's not an awards guy, and I wonder if that'll hurt him. You know, that's one of those like abstract extracurricular things, right? Like, does that play in? You know, I don't know. I mean, if you have Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn from the same movie, and Benicio is championing, you know, cinema, and he's showing up to all the junkets and like doing all the promotional stuff, and then Sean Penn's just vaping in the corner and doesn't want to have anything to do with it, that might, you know, make them lean one way or the other. I mean, who knows? Let's see. Captain Bro Dude, another one that I like to see pop up here. Let's see. Weird question. As somebody who only saw Good Time and Marty Supreme without spoilers for Uncut Gems, does Marty and the character Marty make more sense as a response to it and Howard? Oh, you mean Howard and Uncut Gems? Let me make sure I'm reading this correctly, and I'll give you my opinion. Uncut Gems, does Marty Supreme and the character Marty make more sense as a response to it and Howard Ratner? I don't know that I understand the question fully, Captain Bro Dude, but I will say that the flawed characteristics of Marty and Howard are very similar. Howard, Adam Sandler's character, this is not a spoiler, it's the narrative of the film, is a gambling addict, basically. And his, desire to be the most successful through the art of gambling, if you call it art or whatever, hobby, whatever people call it, is the same as what Marty is going through with ping pong. And they're both flawed in their way of being able to layer the priorities in their life and what's really important and what really measures success. Is it ping pong? Is it gambling? No. It's family, it's work, it's, whatever. So those are very similar story arcs to both films, I would say. Between the two, it's funny that you asked, too, because I actually thought about this the other day. My daughter actually asked me, because we saw Uncut Gems together when it first came out. And she was like, which one do you like more? Because she gave both of them 5 stars. And I don't know. I think I like Marty Supreme more. I think. But I do think they're both 5-star films. And I love Good Time, too. Good Time's probably a 4-star film. They're both really good. Let's see. Oh, you guys are talking about the Oscar swap. When you said Jonathan at first, my mind went to Jonathan Bailey, and I was wait a second, is Jonathan Bailey here? Oh my God, let me talk to him. But now I see what's going in there. All right, let's see. Let me go through some of these. Yeah, I'm gonna throw. We do this thing in the Oscar swap. If you didn't see it last year, where we have a lifeline, so we go through a lot of the categories. So we'll look at supporting actress, right? And I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm going to take somebody out for Ariana Grande. So I'm going to swap it. So I'm going to try to put somebody in. So we have this thing called a lifeline, each of us, but we only have one that we can use on the whole video. So if I try to take out one that he doesn't want out of the lineup, he can use this lifeline. So then I would have to take somebody else out if I want it. You know what I mean? And it gets tricky because it's you don't want to take people out and put people in because you love so many people. So there's one lifeline we can use. I was going to do something different this year, too, where you can only take out or eliminate somebody from the same movie once. But I have to look at it because Sinners in One Battle and Hamnet, they got a lot of nominations, so we might not be able to do that. So I'm going to look at it. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. It's really fun to see what we come up with. Last year I had June Squibb getting nominated at the end of it, so that was great for Thelma. I remember that. Yeah, that was a weird one, Juliana. I had some people kind of explain that to me a little bit, and I still, honestly, between me and you, and I'm not a filmmaker, but honestly, I don't get it really. I mean, I know the design of the costumes, which it's costume design, so I guess that's what they're doing, like the drawing and the, coming up with the costumes, the literal design of it with pencils and stuff is what's being awarded. Which honestly, I never even realized it. I thought that was part of it. But I also thought it was the reflection of what it looks like on the people when they wear them. So maybe I'm just ignorant to what actually goes into the voting. But yeah, somebody kind of explained it to me that way, and I was like, oh, okay, because they were pretty badass, the costumes over there. But yeah, that one really, really took me for a loop there. I'm going through these. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so slow. That's why I said if you guys have, if you really need me to talk to you about something, hit me with the super chat. If not, I'll get through this as soon as I can here. When did I start? I started at 10:30, right? So we're good. Steve says he thinks Amy is the Glenn Close position from a few years ago. You talking about the wife? Oh my God, that was brutal. We're like, all right, she's gonna win here. She got this. She got this. She got this. It was like goose egg. It was crazy. Yeah, I see your comment, Courageous, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I honestly don't know. When I told you I went on this podcast last night, if on the night of the event, here's what's so great about watching the Oscars, and I'm not talking about Oscars predictions because obviously they'll all be locked in by then, right? I like playing the game when it's happening too. Like I wish because doesn't ABC or whatever do that game where you can like predict in the moment or something like that? But I don't know if that's real time or not. But I wish there was like the night of predictions, like you know what I mean? Like they give out supporting actress or actor or whatever early, and then like the next category is this, and then you predict it based on what just happened, and then you keep doing that throughout the night. I wish there could be a way to do that because one of my favorite things about watching the Oscars is predicting it in real time. So that's how I knew Honora was good last year. I mean, I already felt that way because of the PGA WGA sweep, basically, for Sean Baker. But anyway, when it was happening, I was like, oh, we're good. Brutalist, whatever. Nobody cares. But not to simplify it, but I was just like, we're fine. But when you're watching it this year, it's going to be so interesting because they're going to give out supporting actress. I assume the first award. I think it's usually supporting actress or maybe actor sometimes, but I think it's actress. So if Wunmi Masaki wins that, or if Teyana Taylor wins that, the race has started on the night of. I mean, so you go, okay, here's my two horses, right? And one battle is in the lead because Teyana won, or Center's in the lead because Wunmi won, right? And then you go through the night. There's obviously a lot of on the night precursors that matter, but when you get to like editing, okay, so let's just say for shits and giggles that Wunmi wins supporting actress. Then you get to editing, and one battle wins that, which is very likely, by the way. In fact, I think I might have that in first, maybe F1, but that's if I want to branch out from a Best Picture winner. So then they're neck and neck again, right? And then you go through the night. Both of them are going to get screenplay. Let's say they give out adapted first. So PTA wins that. So now one battle's in the lead. You have that top of the line writing category. Then the original comes around. Coogler's 99% going to win that. So he wins that. Then they're tied again. Right? And this is going on throughout the night, 4 hours. And it's just like that. It's going to be like that, I think. And then if it's not like that, and one of those films upsets in one of those categories that we think that's going to play out like that, then you go, that won Best Picture. That's what you can say. Like if for some, I don't even remember if Sinners is Sinners nominated in editing? Like let's just say Sinners wins editing, it's over. Sinners is Best Picture. I mean, that's what I would say in the moment when I'm recording my reaction. I'm trying to remember if it got nominated in editing. That would be a big one, though. I think it did because it got 16, but I'm trying to just confirm it real quick. Yeah, it did. So I've got it behind One Battle and F1 as the winner there, but it could win, right? If they're Sinners down the thing, I mean, it could win. So then you're doing that, right? And then and they both have screenplay, and then you get to the acting prizes, and guess what? The lead actor leader right now, Timothée Chalamet, and the lead actress leader, Jessie Buckley, are not from those films. Those don't matter. I mean, they matter, but you know what I'm saying, in the One Battle Sinners race. So then you get to director. Who wins director? Probably PTA, right? It's like a 85-15 lead right now, I would say, between the two of them at least. I would say. I mean, I could see Coogler winning it, and I could see why people would say he would win it, and it would be deserved. But I think PTA, if he doesn't win anything, he's going to get director and probably screenplay because they're split in categories. So then One Battle has the lead, right? But guess what? What does Sinners have at that point of the night, which, by the way, the only thing left is Best Picture. And I'm not even talking about the other texts that are going to be racked up because they're going to have other stuff. You know, score is going to be for Sinners, right? They're going to have score for Ludwig. What else? I think Frankenstein's going to win a lot of the other texts like production design, costume design, etc. But they're going to have other stuff. In fact, Sinners is probably going to have more wins on the night, if I had to guess, leading up to Best Picture, right? Those important on the night precursors are huge, though. Because when you get to that moment for Best Picture, and I just want you guys to play this out in your head, what do you think is in the lead at that point? Even though they're technically tied, it's Sinners because it has an acting prize, right? Or it's One Battle if Teyana won. So this is going to sound really probably foolish, but on the night of, basically whoever wins supporting actress, if it's from one of those two films, is the Best Picture winner. That's what I think. That's how I think it's going to chalk up. I'm going to take a sip of beer and see what you guys think about that. If Teyana wins, One Battle is your Best Picture. If Wunmi wins, Sinners is Best Picture. If somebody else wins, like Sentimental Value, you know, I don't think Cinema Value wins Best Picture at that point, but I think it makes the race between the two of them much more interesting. Because then nobody has an acting prize in the Best Picture winners. The two front runners for Best Picture, nobody has an acting prize at that point, right? Because what would supporting actor be? I mean, Delroy could, like, it would be a huge swing, and Delroy could upset, and then you really go, okay, they fucking love Sinners. Like, you know, PTA might even be in trouble at that point. Like, if Delroy Lindo won supporting actor, PTA might be in trouble. Like, it might be Coogler. Like, that's how, like, impressionable that win would be for the Academy voting. And I'm just going based on, I mean, even when Parasite won, I mean, I fell out of my damn recliner I had at the time. I don't have it anymore. I'll get to your super chats. I saw I had a couple of them. Because I knew it was going to happen. And I'm like, they're going to fucking do this. They're going to do this for Parasite. And if you've been following the Oscars for as long as I have, they don't do shit like that, especially for international films. Like, the cool movie does not win before Parasite really started kind of that wave. So I'm like, in my head going, yeah, everything's telling me they're going to do this for Parasite, but it's not going to win. And when it fucking won, I was like, I'm still riding a high from Parasite winning Best Picture. Let me go to these super chats real quick. Sorry, guys. Here, I got off on a little thing there because I was thinking about that the other day, and I was talking to my buddy on a podcast about it last night, like I said, and I was just like, this is probably what's going to happen. Either that or one of the other two is going to upset in those various categories, and then it's going to be not as exciting. But I think that it's going to be a seesaw between those two, honestly, especially in those, like, you know, big categories. Zek, I love you, brother. Thanks for the super chat. And also, I saw that. I wish he would have gotten more love for Roofman this year, and Kirsten Dunst as well. But I saw that. I don't know the premise of that movie. I didn't read deeply into it, and it wasn't on my anticipated list. It didn't come up on any research I was doing, so I'm going to look into that one for sure. I wish I could have made it out to Sundance, but Sundance always happens so quick. Like, I feel like I find out about it, and then I'm like, oh, it's happening. Like, you know, like, I just forgot it was happening in January, and then I'm like, people were there, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm not going this year. So I got to start planning for it a lot earlier, I guess. But I know Sorry Baby premiered there last year and stuff, and there was a lot of buzz for that one. Thanks for the super chat, man, though. I appreciate it. And that would be great for Channing Tatum. I thought he was awards worthy in the Magic Mike films. I mean, you guys might laugh at me, but those were really good performances, especially the first one that he gave in those. He's really good. He's really funny, too. He has the perfect amount of charm and charisma, I think. Another one from Anthony. Thanks, brother. I always appreciate you. I only have Sinners winning screenplay. That would be crazy. With 16 nominations, I don't know about that, man. I mean, even Emilia Perez got 2 with 13 nominations. 2 wins, I mean. So, I mean, I guess there's a world where it could happen. But I'm looking through right now and seeing how many I have just so I can tell you where we're at. So I have it winning 4. Oh, yeah, this is another thing that I came to realization on this podcast last night, which is why it's really exciting. So I have Sinners winning 4, and I have One Battle winning 5. But guess what that additional win is? Best Picture. They're tied going into Best Picture. That's what I'm telling you. And I didn't even do that on purpose. So they're literally going to be swapping wins in those major on-the-night precursors until somebody accepts the Best Picture prize. That's what I think is going to happen. Now, if lead acting was in play, like if Michael B. Jordan was considered like a front runner, was a little bit stronger to challenge Timothy, then it would really be like, okay, what's going to happen here? But I think he might be 3 or 4 probably for lead actor. I mean, he could gain momentum, sure, but I don't know, man. I feel like it's going to get definitely more than just the screenplay win because you had Ludwig Göransson getting the score. I mean, that should be the front runner for score. Who do you have winning score? One Battle? Johnny Greenwood? That would be an upset, I think, because he's been doing so great and he's well respected. He just won recently. You know, that's at least 2, and that's if it just shits the bed elsewhere. But I've got it winning 4. I was trying to see besides score, I had casting and cinematography. And I had editing going to One Battle, which is the big one. The big one. So F1 could fuck us up too, or me. Because I have F1 in that second spot. So if F1 wins editing, we still will have no fucking idea what's going to happen for Best Picture. That's really exciting. So, one way or the other. All right, let me go back here. I wanted to show you guys, so I was going to pull up here on the thing, and we'll go through it and see what's crazy over here. So, Ooh, by the way, the reason I'm live streaming tonight, guys, is I just recorded my ranking of the Best Picture nominees. What do you guys think I ranked number one? My personal ranking. I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the comments. Tell me what you think I ranked as my number one movie. I'm wondering if I should tell channel members to exclude themselves because they might know. But what do you guys think I ranked as my number one film of the 10 nominated? It's my personal ranking, not who I think is going to win or anything like that. I'm curious how many of you will get it. I'm going to pull it up here. Best Picture. Where you at? By the way, the short films were really good, guys. I tried to spend as much time as I could, but I only had like 5 days to cram, and I only saw about half of them. But there's some good ones. Like this one right here, All the Empty Rooms. Holy shit. And if you're a parent and you have kids, buckle up. It's only like 25 minutes long. It will fucking tear you apart. It's not really like you can spoil it, but the premise of the movie is this ex-CBS anchor. He was like an anchor on the CBS Evening News. I want to say Steve Martin, but that's the comedian. That's not right. Steve something. Anyway, him and his friend who's a professional photographer, they visit the parents of children who died in school shootings. And they document and photograph their bedrooms because they're the same way that the parents left them when they died. Holy shit. In fact, I messed up and watched all these. By the way, I went 5 for 5 in this category. I watched all these back to back, and all these, with the exception of Perfectly a Strangest, I was crying for like 2 hours straight. I mean, they're all really emotional films. Real stories, emotional. All right, what were we talking about? Sorry. I like to pump up the shorts because you guys should watch those. I mean, people don't really pay attention to them every year. I'm not saying anybody here specifically, but I wish they got a little more coverage during award season because they're usually really good stuff. All right, so here's what we got for Best Picture. Let me scroll the thing here and see what you guys think. Should I tell you? I could show you. My letterbox is right there, actually. I don't know. I could tell you. But then you guys will know, and I haven't edited my video yet. Will you come back and watch the video if I tell you? All right, let's see. Let me go down to the bottom here. Let me remember where I was. I'll tell you what. I'll star a comment. Let me star a comment where I was, and then I'm gonna do like a speed thing at the end here and go through all the comments. So drop any questions or anything. Where the hell was I? Now I lost my spot already. Did I talk about this, Courageous, when you said this? Yeah. So I think I went past that though, right? We talked about that. Wait, what? Oh, you're talking about snow. All right, so I don't think I saw that yet. Oh, Tiffany's here. Tiffany, what's up? Yeah, I didn't see you yet, so I must be right around here somewhere. I can see Kate Hudson winning the Oscar. Good God in heaven. How would be that name? Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, let's do it. For Almost Famous, you mean, right? Look, I know people are coming at me. I'm going to star this comment and then come back to that area of the section of the comments. All right, I know people are coming at me about being a hater or whatever. I love Kate Hudson. In fact, when I did my, what video was it, Courageous? I did my, I don't know if you'll remember, Smash if she's still here. I did the, what the hell was it? It was like my favorite Oscar nominations of the century that didn't win. And she was my number one for Almost Famous. The fact that she didn't win for that is also why we're going through this, just so you guys know. So the Oscars did this. Not just nominating her, they did this by creating this narrative. She should have won for that. And when we talked about the bias against young actresses before, she was young when she did Almost Famous. That's a all-time performance. And I feel bad for Kate Hudson. She will never, ever be able to be as iconic as Penny Lane was in Almost Famous. She should have an Oscar for that. And then we wouldn't be doing this. No, whatever. That's just my opinion. All right, let me see. What do you guys think I ranked number one here? All right, let's see. All right, so F1 is what Trolls says. Trolls, what's up, by the way? Sorry I missed you. Song Sung Blue. Christmas. Oh, my God. Please stop. Go to my Letterboxd. Let me show you. Go to my, I don't know where all of them are, but go to my, oh shit, I can't click on that unless I'm going to show you guys. I need to make sure you're not going to tell anybody. Or make sure you'll come back and watch my video after I post it. If you go to my Letterboxd Christmas, there's a link down there. It's just the Awards Garage. I have a list on there from just like a week ago of all the shorts that I watched, and I put a link in the review. A lot of them are available on YouTube. The animated ones for sure. The documentary ones are on, most of them are on Netflix or HBO. I found. Oh, and PBS, which you can watch on YouTube. Like, you don't have to pay for PBS or anything to see those. Sentimental value. Okay, so we've got a couple sentimental values. All right, so that's a good guess. You guys know that I love that. Christmas says sinners before she said Song Sung Blue. Sinners. Did he put that at number 1? I didn't see that. I didn't see his video. Did he do a video? I didn't see that. It usually tells me when he does a video. I'm trying to think if I would have seen that coming. Yeah, he championed that all year. I could have seen him saying One Battle too, though. Did I do this? Oh my God. She says Marty Supreme, and she says I spilled the beans. I don't know. Sinners, One Battle. Sinners. You guys are the best. I'll answer that champ review. Hang on one second. All right, so I'm going to show you guys. You guys are going to come back and watch my video, all right? I wrote scripts for it and everything. It's like a whole thing. I'm going to put in little clips. You guys got to watch it. So here's what I did. I assume it's still on here. Let's see. Yeah, here you go. So here's my ranking, my personal ranking. Bam. Let me move my guy's comment there. That's my personal ranking when I recorded the video. You guys were close. Sinners is top 5. One Battle is top 5. Sentimental Value is number 2. Song Sung Blue didn't make it Christmas. Sorry. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'll take it off the screen for anybody that tunes in. They missed out. All right. Let me see what that question was real quick. And then I'll go scroll back up and I'll do a speed round on the comments. Did I get a super chat? Oh my God, I think I did. Sorry. I did. It was Anthony. Okay. Sorry, Anthony. Here you go. Thanks again, brother. I have One Battle winning picture, director, supporting, adapted, casting, editing, and score, which is a Hope Diction. So that's going to be Ludwig. That would be a huge upset. It could happen, but that would be a huge upset. So even still, was that 1? So if we say scores out, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 for One Battle and only 1 for Sinners with 16 nominations seems crazy, bro. I love you and I love your commentary on the channel, but that seems wild. I don't know. Might want to rethink that. You might want to rethink that. You sound like me, with my wicked predictions a couple weeks ago. But, who knows? I mean, it could happen. I mean, they love One Battle, and so do I. So it could happen. All right, let me go back up, and I'm going to do a speed round through the comments. Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. If I hear that thing go off again, I will go over there and prioritize that, just so you guys know. What was the last one? I think the last one was... I started, I think. Let me go back up here. And then I will scroll through as quick as I can. And, oh my God, it can't be that high up. I had to have missed. I see this, and I hope somebody answered that, actually, because last year I got a BritBox subscription so I could watch it, but I canceled it. And they charged me for a year. And I had to, hit up my, YouTube TV. I don't know where the hell I left off here. This is crazy. Yeah, no, that would have been awesome, SCW. And yeah, he won the Rising Star Award 2 years ago, I think. Or I don't think maybe it was last year. I think it was 2 years ago though. But he's coming for an Oscar, dude. Trust. Write it down. Write that down. He's going to be playing Sammy Davis Jr. in a music biopic that's being directed by Coleman Domingo this year, or supposed to be this year. And I think that's going to be if it's well received. By the way, whoever Classic Movie Lover is, let's fucking go. Yes, that was my number 1 film of the year. I'm not going to sue you. I'm going to be standing next to you, being sued. Abso-fucking-lutely. That movie, it was too indie. It was too small. But the fact that it even showed up on a long list and then to be nominated, which, by the way, I was the only fucking person to predict that, I think, or at least that I know of. The movie's phenomenal. It's like The Substance, but it's like during a Renaissance era. like Marie Antoinette. I mean, like it's fucking beautiful. Yeah, dude, that's my favorite movie of the year. I wanted to shout that comment out. All right, so I'm gonna go down from here, I guess. I see my other super chat there. Wait a minute. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, why wasn't he courageous? That's a good one. So I think I was right in here somewhere. All right, so I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna start where if I missed any before this, I'm sorry, but I think I was right around this area. But I also saw something that you said here, courageous. So yeah, I definitely agree with you on Jacoby Jupe. That was weird too, especially with the success for Hamnet there. That's kind of strange. I don't know about that. I do think Chase's lead. Uh, I don't know. I mean, they don't really like give us a definition or like parameters of it. She was my favorite performance in the movie, and in my opinion, she was the most impactful performance. That's just my opinion. She wasn't the showiest. That would probably be Sean Penn. But I remember we had just had a Little League game when I found out that Chase went lead because I had been predicting her and supporting for a couple months. And some people were hitting me up like, oh, she's going lead. Did you hear about it? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, initially I was like, what? Because she is a supporting role, or that's what I was thinking the whole time. So it really depends on what your take on it is, like what categorizes as lead as supporting. If you want to do the screen time argument, which I don't think you really can do that, but if you want to do that, then that factor could play into it as well. She's not on screen as much as, Leo, for example, in that movie. But my buddy was saying category manipulation because they had 3 really strong supporting actresses, including her, right? So of the 3, Teyana, Regina, Hall, and Chase, who could be lead? Chase. She's in the whole second half of the movie. The narrative is kind of built around her character, at least, once Teyana leaves the scene after the first half hour. So it made the most sense between the 3 of them, and there's no way all 3 of them would make supporting actress. I mean, even 2 of them didn't. So I got it from like WB's kind of massaging the situation. And because I love Chase so much and I thought she had a better shot in that category than in supporting, which I still feel that way. I mean, she was probably number 6 if Kate Hudson hadn't happened. It was the right call. I mean, there's no way WB could see Kate Hudson doing what she did in the last few weeks of award season. It was like a, Andrea Riseborough type situation that they could not have predicted at the time. So it was the right call, like studio business-wise, but I get what you're saying too. All right, I'm going to go through these kind of quick. If I see any questions, I will throw those up and try to give you a quick answer here. You talking about for Kate Hudson? She was good in Glass Onion. She was really, like, devilishly, like, delightful in that movie. I agree. Yeah, dude. Let's go, LG. Saltburn was my shit, dude. But I am an Emerald Fennell apologist. I fucking love her. I cannot wait to see Wuthering Heights. Like, she just speaks my language, dude. She just speaks I love her as a filmmaker. Ever since Promising Young Woman, I just love her. Is a Safdie stress flick truly Oscar bait, or is that a bit of a stretch? It is an actor's vehicle, though. I don't think it's Oscar bait, which I think is what you're saying anyway, but I don't think it is because it's a Safdie movie. I mean, until Marty Supreme, the Oscars acted like they didn't exist. So, and this movie is not that far off from the previous films. It's a higher budget, a bigger budget, but it's not, other than that, it looks the same, it feels the same. It's a wild ride. It's not, pinkies out while you're sipping tea or whatever. But I think it was enough of an auteur vision, the early stages of a director that you can see is going to be around for a long time. I'm not going to be one of those people that throws the Scorsese analogy around and all that. I've heard that. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but I'm not ready to say that yet. But I do think that he's going to be around for a long time and he's going to make a mark. And hopefully, his brother does too, or they do it together, or, whatever. But yeah, I think it makes sense that that's the one that finally showed up for him. I'm trying to look at the BAFTA's lead actor last year. It was built the same way. Had Hugh Grant for Heretic. Yeah, that's actually true. Now that you mention that, it's actually true. Let me look at mine. Did I have you guys are good to chat with. I need to refill my beer already. Let's see. Lead actor you're talking about. So right now I have Timmy, Hawk, Leo, Jesse, MBJ, and Robert Armeo. And you're saying you're looking at BAFTA's lead actor. Last year it was built the same way. Oh, as what it will be this year? I wonder if you have Armeo in that last spot, Sonny Bear, or do you have like Russell Crowe or somebody? Maybe Egerton too. I saw some people had him in there. I feel like that's too American as well, and it's a really quiet performance. I would love that for him. Is he? I think he's Australian, right? I don't think he's British. He might be. I might be misremembering that. Let's see. You'll have to hit me with this one, Disruptive. I'm not trying to be silly, but I really don't know what it is. What is the controversy about Safdie people are talking about? I don't know. Are you asking me or somebody in the chat? Because I'll read through these, but I don't know what that is. I didn't know there was one. I've been seeing some interviews with him lately, and he's delightful. I love, and they probably are all like this, but some of them are really reserved, right? I'm talking about filmmakers or directors like Chris Nolan. But I love when filmmakers just love movies. And when they're doing an interview, it's like they're the biggest dork about film, you know? I just love that shit. And Josh Safdie's doing that lately in some of his interviews. And so I'm a big fan of his movie making, but I'm a big fan of like him on the circuit lately too. But I haven't heard about any controversy or anything like that, so you'll have to hit me with that news. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah. I don't know either. I guess it would be. I mean, there's not really a horror performance, so I guess it would be like a Russell Crowe. He's like a villain. He's a wartime villain in the movie. He plays Goebbels, you know, from World War II, so a Nazi. So I guess that would be that spot really. So maybe you're actually onto something there because I'm really close to putting him in for either Michael B. Jordan or Armeo. I've just heard so many things about the Brits and their love for I Swear that I feel like Armeo is probably going to get in based on what I've heard. I just wish I'd seen the movie so I could like feel great about it, and I just haven't. All right, I'll go through some of these. Yeah, you know what really, really sold me on that too, Craig, is I agree with you. You know what really sold me on that too is that an interview that Chloe Zhao did for, I think it was Variety maybe or Billboard or something like that. It's on their YouTube page, but it was a visual interview, not just written. But the way Chloe Zhao talked about how they prepared for that scene and what Jessie Buckley did for that scene, she didn't know any of it. Like, Chloe Zhao had no idea how that scene was going to play out. And they did more than one take, of course. And, you know, editing or whatever picked what it picks. But, like, she was just explaining. She's training to be a death doula and stuff. And she was talking about just, like, kind of the out-of-body experience she had while Jessie was doing that scene, almost as if she was, like, watching Agnes go through it, you know? And so that really sold me on it, too, where I was like, wow, you know, the craft involved here is crazy. And she seems so genuine and, like, I'm talking about Jessie and her, like, acceptance speeches and stuff and, like, so humble. Like, I don't see it as overacting at all. I can see the argument as to why people would say that with being the old school Oscar, you know, Beatty, you know, English patient kind of film or whatever. And that's not wrong, but that doesn't mean that her acting was off or anything. Let's see. I'm going to go through some of these. I'm sorry. I'm kind of scrolling as fast as I can here. Yeah, Christmas Jones echoes that about her performance. I mean, she's a sweeper, guys. You know, there's a reason why acting branches everywhere are latching onto that performance. Okay, so this is one I was going to see if anybody responded to because I hope it's not just BritBox. I have YouTube TV this year, which I didn't have, I don't think, last year. And I got that BritBox subscription, and then they screwed me over. So I hope you can watch it somewhere else, but I don't know. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Here we go. Oh, no. You guys remember when Phoebe did that on Friends? Whenever something crazy happened? Oh, no. Am I dating myself? You probably don't even know what Friends is. He's the SAG. Christmas, he's the SAG. But still, I mean, that could have some pull. Crossover with the actors or whatever. Let's see. I'm going through, see what you guys got here. If you have any questions, throw them in. I'm trying to look for question marks or any questions and any comments that pop out at me. I'm going to wrap up here shortly, but I'm going to do some editing tonight, and you guys can look for Yeah, that was a good pull, Steve. I called that, but I also called it on the kind of like perception that it was going to get some other stuff after that, and it really hasn't. I mean, aside from Madigan, of course. But I thought the screenplay was in the mix, casting, you know, and it just didn't show up at other bodies. So that would have been great. I just feel like maybe there was too much horror in the mix, especially if you consider Frankenstein to be in that realm. We're not gonna have 3 horror. We're not ready for that yet, or they're not ready for that yet, I should say. I'm ready for it. What'd you think, Ateo? What'd you think? I liked it. I didn't like the last. I'm not gonna do any spoilers on the stream, so you can hit me up after if you want. But there was the last like 2 minutes kind of irked me a little bit. Directly related to Josh Brolin's situation, and I won't give anything away. But that kind of, I mean, it didn't kill the movie for me. It wasn't a deal breaker, but I didn't like that ending for that particular character. But otherwise, I thought it was a great film, and I love the way the structure was of the movie. The screenplay is great. Let's see. Yes, Juliana. Let's see. I am not so confident in Aria getting in. I had to mourn and accept the fate, just in case. But I'm excited for her upcoming projects this year. Yeah, she had a really sweet interview. I think it was today, actually, or I saw it today. It may have been yesterday, but about just being so humble and last year being nominated. She's good. She's good. I do. What up to? Oh my God. The last time you were here, I thought you were Tessa Thompson. So I don't know if you're throwing me for one there, but I have her in. I have her in at the BAFTAs if that's what you're talking about. I think she gets in there. If not, I think she's the first runner up, but she's going to be close. What's up, Eric? Thanks for being here, brother. You got the old school smiley face and everything. But yeah, we're happy to have you, man. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying you do have her in, but you're saying it would be great for her to get in. Yes. Let's see here. Could Hamnet win other categories other than Best Actress for Buckley? Who am I predicting that is going to win? Do you see it also winning Adapted Screenplay? Are you talking about at the Oscars, or are you talking about at the BAFTAs? It has a shot. At the Oscars, it doesn't, or at least I don't think it does. I mean, that's PTA. So, the only split there would be if they're like, we're giving PTA picture and director, so we're going to give it screenplay. But I don't think they vote like that either, especially with the ranked system. So I don't think it, PTA, especially in director and screenplay, picture might be a little iffy with the rise of Sinners lately. But in screenplay and director, I think PTA is like, I mean, they might as well give it to him now. I mean, that's what I think. If you're talking about the BAFTAs, it has a shot. I think I still had. Let me look and see what I had real quick, so I don't misquote myself. But and when we get done with this call, I'm gonna probably adjust some things. But right now, I have it only second to PTA, so it could very easily get the BAFTA for screenplay. I've got it winning. Let's see. So just to answer your question, if you're talking about the BAFTA, I have it winning film there, leading actress, casting, and British film. That's what I currently have. I may change Best Film, and I might put One Battle in there as the winner for film and leave Hamnet for British. I haven't really decided yet. But I do think Hamnet's going to be very successful at the BAFTAs. But when it comes to the Oscars, if that's what you're talking about, I only have it getting one, which would be Jessie Buckley. As far as where I think it stands the best chance other than that, let me see. It is second in Adapted Screenplay. So that would be if PTA somehow loses that, but I don't think he does. And then, where else? And then I have it, I don't think it's third in a couple areas, like costumes and production design. I love the theater at the end and the production design for the Shakespeare play for Hamlet. But again, I mean, we're talking about a behemoth like Frankenstein, and then even if Frankenstein didn't somehow get it, you've got Sinners with the juke joint and all that stuff for production design. So, and One Battle's in that category. So, yeah, if you're asking me right now, I think it's probably just Jessie Buckley, honestly. Let's see. Just going through, I know you guys are talking back and forth with each other. I assume you guys are being nice to each other, but when I did my live stream the other day, some people were being mean, apparently. So don't be mean to each other. We love each other, guys. If you don't like Wicked, you can be here. It's okay. Don't be mean to people that like Wicked. I didn't see it firsthand. I just heard people were being mean to the Wicked fans. I'm like, oh God, here we go. Um, Wait a minute. Where? Oh, you're in Brazil, right? Really? Did I give spoil? I didn't give spoilers, did I? Oh my God, I hope I didn't. I hope I didn't. Even when I do my rankings, by the way, Ateo, I've started writing a script specifically because I don't want to spoil movies. Like if it's like current, tell me if I don't think I did. Did I spoil Mars Supreme Courageous? I don't think I did I? I mean, I may have talked about the plot, but yeah, I won't spoil it for you. And I definitely didn't mean to if I did. Oh, God. Now you got me worried. What are we talking about? Oh, for you mean? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well, here's the thing, Disruptive One. Critics' Choice was really early, but I was also really surprised that they did that because the critics were the ones that were kind of down on it. Like, since the festival run, which I know I have some friends here like Courageous will tell you, like, it's in my top 10 of the year. Like, I love that movie. I mean, it has flaws or whatever, but when I saw it, there was no chatter out there when I saw it. There was no reviews. I went to an early screening that Netflix hosted, and I had that benefit of not having any of that noise. And I loved it. It just spoke to me. I mean, I have kids. I'm getting older, like Clooney. Maybe not as handsome as he is, but nonetheless, I responded to what he was going through in the movie, even without the acting piece, because it's not really about that. It's just kind of like that's kind of like a backdrop to me of what the movie's really about: family and kids and parenting and getting older and your legacy, which can be anything. You know, I'm a beer salesman. I shouldn't respond to that movie, but I did. You know. But what's more baffling to me, Disruptive, than it getting into Critics' Choice is that it just died after that. I still don't understand it. I really, and I know not everybody's going to like everything that I like, and I mean, I accept that, but it's just so, if that movie had come out in like 2005, it would be breaking the record. Like, it would win everything if it was the old Academy, like before the Best Picture 10 field. I mean, let me see. I got a super chat. Let me go over there real quick. Oh, that's my girl. My girl Smash. What's she got over here? You got to drop off soon. Thanks for the chat. Excited for BAFTA and WGA reveal. Yes. I don't know, Smash, if I'm doing a recording of me watching it or if I'm going to have my kids read the nominees to me and then I'll react to them reading it, kind of like we do with the CCAs, because the timing is going to be weird. My wife's out of town, blah, blah, blah. So, but I'll have something up tomorrow of me reacting to it. I just don't know what form it'll be in. But thank you so much for being here and for the super chat, and as always, such a huge supporter on the channel. One of my first members, actually. We're over 50 now, by the way, guys. Over 50 channel members. I can't believe it, and that's just in like a few months. So you guys are fucking crazy. You're the best. I know it's just a couple bucks, but it means the world to me, and the engagement keeps me going. So if you guys are into it, Smash is one of my members, but you get custom emojis, you get your own badge, and after 1 year, it's an actual Academy Award that you'll have next to your name. I do like live streams just for my members when I'm in my car at work, because I drive around to various like stores and stuff as a salesman or whatever. So when I'm in my car, I do live streams kind of like talking out loud and brainstorming. And I do that for my members to help with my predictions for award season. And then all my rankings videos and all that shit, like the one I was just talking about for the Best Picture 10, will be up before for the members before anybody else. So you get all kinds of cool stuff. I try to keep you guys, get your money's worth, if you will. But Smash and everybody else has been here for a long time. I really appreciate you guys. You're the best. And thanks for being here. I know you got to drop off. I'm getting ready to go too, so I get it. Oh, new peeps. What do we got? We got, I've seen you before, and I feel like I always fuck up the name. Why do I do that? Don't say anything. Things J, is that right? Thins J? Thin S a J, I think. Oh my God, I said don't let me butcher it, and I butchered it, but I think I did. But can animated features get nominated for costume design? Are you talking about because of Avatar, or you mean just in general? In general, I don't think they can. But it does make you wonder if they could, right? Because what if it's a world, like Avatar, and it's a cartoon, animated, and they made up all the costumes and stuff? I think because they don't, I'm not saying they don't draw those, because they do storyboards and shit. I realize that. But I think the costume design of animated movies is more graphic design, computer design. and that's like a different, almost like a visual effects type category. So I don't think they can, but I also can't tell you for sure. But with the mocap, with the motion capture, like Avatar, I think that's how it was able to get in there. Let's see. Clayton Davis was my guy. Look at this guy. Dude, I love you, brother. That's like a celebrity for me, guys. I've been following Clayton for like, Jesus, when did I join Twitter? Which, by the way, what a nightmare that place is. I think I did. I think probably 10 years ago. Now, was it 2005? Yeah, 2015, probably 16 maybe. And I've been following Clayton ever since. Love your write-ups, man. Love your predictions, and just love you, brother. Love you on Twitter. See you on the red carpet all the time. So thanks so much for the support, brother. I appreciate it, and thanks for being here. You guys should go follow Clayton over at Variety if you don't already. He's a great dude. He's got a lot of good takes over there. I think he may be one of the ones responsible for Kate Hudson too. He may have called that a little early. I'm not mad at you like I am Matt Clayton, but I don't know. I laid into Matt a little bit when he did that, but it's okay. I love Kate Hudson. Thanks for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. I'm going through these kind of quick here. 6:20 in the morning, brother. That's what time I get up, but it's not that yet. What time is it here? It is midnight here. 1:20 over there in Brazil. You guys are the best in Brazil, by the way. Teo, did you see that post I put up a couple weeks ago? Because I was looking at my analytics, which I don't do. I try not to do a lot because mentally it'll fuck me up. But Brazil's like my 2 highest rated videos are from Brazil. I'm Still Here and The Secret Agent. And like my viewership, like when it shows the countries that watch the videos, it's the U.S. obviously, but like Brazil is like 25% of my views are in Brazil. I'm like, I fucking love this place. Like, I want to go there. You guys are so passionate about movies. And I think that's going to go really far when you guys have a picture in the race like Secret Agent. I think the passion behind it is going to speak to voters. And what I told my buddy, I went on his podcast last night, we were talking about The Secret Agent, getting into Best Picture, and I'm Still Here. And I said, if I was an Oscar voter, or like, you know, when I apply for the CCA, if I get in there, if I'm voting and I'm doing stuff like this and I feel the passion of the fan base behind a movie, that influences my vote. I would be voting for The Secret Agent, an international feature, if I was an Oscar voter. And I do love the movie too, but it has that added element of just being so passionate about what what the art is coming out of that country. And I think it's really cool, man. I wish America would get behind anything in cinema like you guys do when a movie comes out in Brazil in the Oscars race. Let's see. I still need to know if I messed up your name there, Thins J, but I think I got it decent. Pilion winning Best Picture and Screenplay at the British Indie Film Awards means a possible Skarsgård nom. I didn't know that. See, this is the kind of shit I need here. Yeah, that would be cool. A little father-son battle. Did you guys see their, speaking of Clayton, did you guys see their Actors on Actors? That was really good. That was really good. As a dad, as a parent, that's the kind of shit that really I love. My daughter is, I think I've told a lot of you guys that come here regularly, but she just graduated film school last year. She's an editor and a cinematographer. And she does a lot of short films, actually, which is another reason why I'm into shorts. But she, has this aspirations of, probably decades from now or whatever, that she wants to be on the red carpet of the Oscars, And so when I see, like, people in the industry and, like, their kids, and, like, there's a sense of pride there, but also, like, kind of, like, drive behind their kids to, like, do the best they can do. And the Skarsgårds are some of the best doing it. Bill, too. Bill was really good in, what was that one that just came out? Dead Man's Wire. He was really good in that. That didn't get enough push, and I think that might actually be considered a 26 movie. But really good in that. I think did I get another super chat? Jesus, I'm so sorry. Was that? Or no, I already did that one. That was from Zek. Thank you, Zek. I just came across it again. Yes. 1,000%. Captain Bro, dude. Yes. Yeah, she's divine, man. She's absolutely divine. I love her. And she's such a good actor, man. Out of nowhere, and that's what I tell people, and the Kate Hudson thing, all jokes aside or whatever, like, I love Kate Hudson, right? But what Chase did in a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, acting against Leo and Sean Penn and Regina Hall and all these other powerhouse actors that have won Oscars and everything else, that would be like me and you doing it. Just think about that. Now, of course, she's had some training or whatever, but that's her first feature role. How would you do if PTA was directing you in a scene with Leonardo DiCaprio? Not like that. Not me. You know what I mean? She carried that film, in my opinion. It's just crazy to me, And I know that I don't know, man. I just feel like if the Hudson uprising had not happened when it happened, that she'd be in there, you know? And the category thing could be whatever, too. So, yeah, I agree with this one, too. Disruptive. I don't disagree with it getting in there, but it was a surprise for me, for sure. It was definitely a surprise to get in there, especially as an editor. And like I said, my daughter's an editor. I love the movie, and she did, too. But it just didn't scream editing to me. Going through these as quickly as I can here before I wrap up. Yeah, I want to see that too. And I heard there's a bidding war for it now, which is great for her. You know, I love her movies. She did Booksmart, right? That was her, right? I think. And she did the one that was kind of shit on a couple years ago that I actually really liked. What was that with Florence Pugh? What's the one I'm thinking of? Shit, with Florence Pugh and Chris Pine. What was that one? You guys will have to remind me. Shit. But I think that was Olivia Wilde too. But I actually liked that. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but I mean, I didn't hate it. Like, a lot of people seem to hate that movie. What the hell was that movie called? Oh, God. I don't want to look it up. I hate when I do this to myself. I'm going to look it up. Should I look it up? It's on the tip of my tongue, and I know you guys have already told me what it is. What is it? Oh, my God. I got to go look. Did somebody comment? All right, so I don't want to look. I want to know. Okay, I'll look. Don't worry, darling. God, I just saw. Okay. In fairness, I saw you guys did that, so thank you. Let me go back up. Yeah, Don't Worry, Darling. I liked it. A lot of people didn't. Okay, let's see. What else we got here? The dad from Parasite. Yeah. By the way, the mom from Parasite is one of my emojis, my custom emojis. If you become a member of her with the shocked face. We could have used that. You guys should have used that on Oscar nominations morning. Or the Ariana side eyes also in there. There's a lot that would have applied to Oscars nominations morning. Let's see. Sorry about Ariana and Wicked. Let's see. A back-to-back sequel. Should Wicked have been one movie? Yeah, I've heard that argument. Or a longer break in between. I think part 1, part 2 approach killed it, and that's why no awards. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's the sole reason, but I do tend to agree with you. I think they just did it a year ago. So, you know, to answer your question, I mean, the obvious answer to your question is yes, because it blanked, which is fucking crazy to me. I still don't know how it didn't get into, at a minimum, original song. Like, I really don't know. Viva Ver, like, what the fuck? What is that? Diane Warren's, 76th nomination or whatever. Like, I love her, but I mean, what are we doing? So I'm just baffled that at a minimum, like 1 or 2. I mean, it's crazy, Paul Tazwell, costume design. We were talking about Avatar earlier. I mean, sure, they're great, but like, what? It's almost like it's almost like Wicked got in and they were like, let's change this. Let's put something else in there. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like in a couple categories, But let me put that back up because I'll tell you real quick. I think if it had been one movie, it would have been what? Like over 4 hours. So I don't know that necessarily that the prestigious award bodies like the Oscars would have shied away from that necessarily, but at the same time, that may have been viewed like, oh, this is a 4.5 hour musical. There's no intermission. Well, maybe there would have been an intermission, but I don't know. That may have negatively impacted it too. I love the way it was set up because also like structurally in that film or in that musical, I should say, stage show, you kind of have to take a break, if that makes sense. Now, I know in the musical it's just a 15-minute intermission, but you kind of have to like reset because they are literally 2 different films or 2 different acts, I should say. And that's the way John M. Chu did them for the movies. I thought he did a phenomenal job at it. But to answer your question, I don't think it should have been a longer film because I think the 4+ hours may have been seen a little negatively too. So I think having it spaced out a little further would have been better for the Oscars, but it would have been worse in the public eye for fans and for musical junkies. So it is a lose-lose, really. I just don't know, man, what happened, And I know you said you're sorry and thank you. I mean, it's always really tough when you do this. I've only been doing it for a few years, but when you have like your favorite one is like right there 2 years in a row, and it slips through your fingers, it's tough, And that's kind of what I'm going through. But, I love movies, and so many. When I just did my ranking that I recorded earlier, it'll be out in a few days. Like, there's not a bad movie in the 10. I mean, we have to remember that, Did your favorite get in? Is your favorite going to win? Maybe not, but you know what? That is a good playlist of 10 movies. Like even F1 is a great film. Like it's an action film. It's not like a lot of like substance and depth to it, but it's a great movie. Technically, I mean, Darius Kanji, Hans Zimmer doing the score, Kaczynski, did Top Gun Maverick, like top-notch shit, in F1. And really there's a mini kind of emotional narrative in that movie too about your legacy and, wanting to matter, at the kind of end of your, I won't say life, but at the end of kind of like what is deemed as important in your life, for him as F1 racing. So it's a good movie, It's gonna maybe take on that Oscar villain name tag or whatever, but it really shouldn't. I mean, it's a good film. I would have preferred it was just an accident in there, or even weapons, like we were saying. But you can't win them all, That's basically what it comes down to. I'm just going through some of the comments before I wrap up there. But Sinners is not losing score. I tend to agree with that one. I mean, Johnny Greenwood would be the only like upset, but I also feel like that would kind of be a shock, to be honest. This is true. I know you're responding to Disruptive. This is what worries me, a la Nickel Boys, honestly. That was the best looking film, period. I don't even think that got a nomination, did it? I don't know if Clayton's still in the chat. I don't think Nickel Boys got nominated last year. Which, like, fucking what? Like, I think, unless I have that misremembered, but I know it didn't win. So, yeah, that's kind of what this is to me. Like, this is so beautiful that it's this year's Nickel Boys that should be the cinematography winner, right? I mean, if we're just basing it on cinematography. And like I said, my daughter's doing it right now. Like, she even told me. She didn't like the movie that much. And she's like, that's the best cinematography I've seen in like 5 years. Adolfo, I can't remember his last name. But great cinematography, right? And Sinners, I agree with you, though. That's why I threw this comment up here, though, is because Sinners has the iconic piece to it that Train Dreams is not going to have. Train Dreams is a beautiful film, but it's also a quiet, lesser-seen film that's not going to be played on a loop. There's not going to be a scene from that movie played on a loop for the next 20 years, So the visibility of that scene specifically, when it comes to cinematography, could push it over Train Dreams. Train Dreams is my pick. If I was voting, that's what I'd be getting. So these are the ones where you guys were picking what I put there, yeah. Yeah, probably will. Although that documentary short, guys, if you have a chance, I think all of those documentary shorts, which I went 5 for 5, like I said, so I saw all of them. They're all either on Netflix, Hulu. No, I'm sorry. Netflix, HBO Max, or there's 2 of them on like the PBS streaming. I can't remember what it's called, but you can Google it. It's not, you don't have to pay. You just have to watch ads. And it's like the PBS YouTube channel or whatever. So you can see all 5 of those right now, as long as you have Netflix and HBO. But they're all really, really good. All right, let me go down here. Let me go down here. Okay, so this was in response to what we were talking about earlier, Champ, right? So you have her winning Best Actress, and you could see Hamnet winning Adapted, and the Academy giving Hamnet more love. I would like to say that. I just don't. You could be absolutely right. I mean, it's definitely an Oscar-coded film. Like we were talking earlier about English Patient type movies, right? It's definitely got that component to it, the old Academy for sure. And it's going to bring a lot of emotion out of the people that watch it. And Jessie Buckley's going to carry it a long way in whatever category it's in, because in a lot of ways they're going to be voting for her, right, and her performance. So you could be right here, but I personally don't. Unless something shakes out over the course of the next couple of weeks, I think One Battle's got this for adapted screenplay. I mean, that's just my opinion right now as I'm sitting here this second. I think PTA's got director and screenplay. I would be really surprised if he doesn't get those 2, even if nothing else happens. Yep. LG knows what's up. LG knows what's up. Yeah, so I've seen this comparison too, and that would be... Let me make sure I got this right. Marcia Gay Harden was not nominated in any of the precursors, which I actually didn't know that part, and then was nominated for the Oscar and won it. You're talking about for Almost Famous, yeah, because that's when that happened, right? And then Kate and Frances split the vote. That's true. That's true. Isn't that funny that that's the same year, though? Because I didn't even realize that until I just read your comment. That's the same year as Almost Famous, the Marcia Gay Harden thing. That's crazy. Let's see. Let me go through some of these real quick. Snow Bear is. I saw that one. That was on YouTube too. You can watch it for free. I don't. I don't know if boring is the right word, but it was definitely kind of like, I don't even want to say pointless because that's not really what I'm saying either. But it was just kind of like, oh, okay, that existed. Like like it was really cute. Like I watched it with my 7-year-old or almost 7-year-old, and he was into it. He liked it. I mean, it's only 10 minutes long, but it's basically like if there was I said this on my shorts video I did last week, but it's almost like if there was a hidden scene within Brother Bear, the movie that he also worked on, the animator. If there was like a deleted scene, it was that. That's almost kind of like what it is. Like it looks like a portion of Brother Bear, just with a polar bear instead of a brown bear. But it's like just cute, kind of for cute sake. But I mean, it's not bad by any means. Yes, he is, and he showed up actually in the trailer today that I have not seen, but I heard that he's in it. Oh, wait a minute. What's Zach talking about here? No, hit me with that. What is that? Are you talking about Brian? Oh, Brian Rowe? Is that what you're talking about? Oh God, is it good or is it bad? Good God in heaven. Is it us being like bromance or whatever? I'm into it. I love Brian. We just talked yesterday. We're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna do some stuff on our channels, like retrospective type stuff. When award season dies down a little bit. I was just talking to him yesterday. That's crazy. But no, I didn't see that. I'm wondering what that is out though. So I don't know. Is it appropriate? Let me know. Send it to me. You you're not. Oh, I was gonna say you're a channel member. I see you so much, Zach. I thought you were, but my email is just theawardsgarage@gmail. So you can hit me with it, man. I'm curious what that is now. Let's see. Is Marty Supreme? Trolls love you too, by the way. I know you're up late over there too. Isn't it late where you are too? Is Marty Supreme similar to Whiplash? Yeah. I mean, not really thematically, but like energy-wise and pacing-wise, I would say so, if that's what you mean. Not really like in the narrative, but pacing and the way it feels, I would say they're pretty similar in style for sure. Yeah, in terms of style. Yeah, I see your next comment there. Let me see. Super chat. Did I get one? Oh my God, did I do this? Oh no, I did that one already. Okay. The Golden Globe screenplay winner always wins at the Oscars. I will have to fact check that, but you might be right. You might be right. I need you guys around. You got to keep me. You got to keep me in check. You got to keep me in check before I blow these predictions. Anthony knows what's up. Yeah, you weren't supposed to see that either. That was a little insider thing, So hopefully you come back and watch my breakdown because I loved all the movies. That's what made this hard too. Because I was 10, right, and I loved all of them. So I'm like, well, what do I do, So there was 2 of them. I'm gonna think for a second. I think there was only 2 of those movies that I gave a 3.5 on Letterboxd to, and it was Frankenstein and Hamnet. I liked both of them a whole lot. But all the other movies were 4, 4.5. Did I even give any of them 5? I don't even think I gave any of them 5. I think Marty Supreme, One Battle, Sinners, like the top 6 were 4.5 stars, I think. So I just kind of went by that really because I haven't rewatched any of them lately to increase the scores or add any additional commentary or anything like that. So I know it's low and people I don't want you to mistake it. I did love it. It's just it has to get a spot. You know what I mean? Something has to be 8th best, basically. Yeah, this could be an issue for him, Zach. I agree with that. Smash, can I borrow your login? I don't want to do the whole thing again. They really screwed me over last year. I had to get a refund of $150. I'm wondering if it's on YouTube TV somewhere though, because I didn't have that last year. But I got to look into that for sure. I'm not sure about that. Let's see. What else we got here? You guys are the best, though. I appreciate you guys hanging out. It's cool to have as many people up at midnight on a weeknight that care about award season. That's really cool. I'm just going through to see if there's any additional questions before I drop off here. Oh, Clayton's got one. We were talking about my BAFTA predictions earlier, Clayton. I'm curious what you have, actually. In WGA, there's so many that are. I'll pull it up real quick. I'll pull it back up. There's so many that are ineligible there, which I'm sure you know that, but like that always kind of throws me for a loop a little bit because I'll think I'll have something and then I'll be like, oh, never mind. So all right, so here's what I had. What is this? Oh, this is Oscars. So we'll talk about WGA real quick. So what I ended up going for WGA is this. And in original, a little bit of that is I love House of Dynamite. I don't know if you do, Clayton. But House of Dynamite is like, there's like 10 people that liked it. And I was like, I got out of the theater and this is great. Like, Catherine Bigelow we're back. She's back. This is fucking awesome. Noah Oppenheim, greatest shit I've ever seen, you know. And then, like, within a couple days, everybody just hated it, you know. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to happen. Which still is weird to me. I just love that movie. I loved it. So, part of that's that. I do think Mary Bronstein can get in there, too, for If I Had Legs, you know, because of all the ineligibilities or whatever. But I think those top three I feel really good about in original. And then after that, I really don't know. But that's what I'm going with. I love Jay Kelly, too. So, that's also a bit of a hope diction. And then for adapted, I think all the top ones were eligible. So I basically stuck with the top five there. Wake Up Dead Man would be a spoiler because Ryan Johnson seems to always show up for writing awards. And then BAFTA, I was saying, Clayton, I might change some of these tonight before I go to bed. And that's honestly one of the reasons why I did the streams. I'd be interested to hear what you say. But I've got Nuremberg kind of spoiling a couple categories, including film. So I've got Nuremberg in there, along with what I think would be considered the top four for the most part. I didn't go Marty Supreme, and I was talking about this earlier because I feel like that might be too much America in a BAFTA 5 with One Battle and Sinners. And then if you put Marty in there, that's just like a bunch of U.S. representation, you know, like stories, I mean, in the BAFTA 5. So this is kind of what I'm thinking Nuremberg might spoil, but it could be I Swear because it's a British film. They loved it. So I don't know, but this is kind of what I'm rolling with there for some of those. I'll leave that on the screen there, the top categories. And then I do have Wunmi Masaki getting in, yes, but also as my current winner for the BAFTA. Remember that. Remember me when next time you're on the red carpet, Clayton, if that comes to fruition, next time you interview her. Be like, oh my God, Gerald in North Carolina said you were going to win this back in January. Let's see. So there's something to that. There's something to that. It's really hard to say. It really is. That is what's so exciting, though. And I'm not even saying that as a negative thing. It's just really exciting because it's like you don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be. I think the easy answer is going to be him or PTA, right? But I do think that industry support of 16 nominations for the film broadly, and of course we're talking about directors when you talk about DGA, but the broad support for that film, even though, you know, One Battle wasn't shabby either. What did it get? 13, I think, nominations? I think 12. Is it 12 or 13? It was a lot. So it's not like it got a few, you know what I mean? So I think it's going to definitely be between the two of them. I just think that it's going to be a huge precursor. It really is, because it could be a PGA, DGA split this year. It could be another Sean Baker situation this year. You know, it could be one out of left field that we're not expecting that takes one of them. You know, I mentioned F1 earlier for PGA. It could be like a crazy spoiler. You know, I don't know. But I think that Clayton could be onto something. I don't know if he predicted that, but if he did, he could be onto something because it's a definite possibility. You know, Sinners was always strong, I think, at least in my mind. But even somebody that's been supporting that film since I saw it in May for awards, I never would have told you 16 nominations. Never. In fact, I had 15 and I changed it because I'm like, this is crazy. And I took it out of VFX and I ended up predicting it for 14, which I still thought was kind of crazy. But I was like, yeah, I think it's going to get all these. And of course it did, +2. So, you know, I mean, it's stronger than even I thought. And that's somebody that's been, you know, kind of pumping it up all year. Oh, look at this. My guy's going on Jennifer Hudson tomorrow. Oh, boy, I'll have to. I think they do that in syndication here, though. I assume you're out in Cali there, Clayton, but I think it comes on at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something. But now I'll have to check that out for sure. See what bombs you drop over there. You gotta take something crazy on Jennifer Hudson. Say something crazy. You know what I mean? I know you're gonna do like the One Battle and Sinners and all that shit, but just like throw like a crazy prediction at them. that people watching will be like, what the hell is he talking about? Do something like that, you know? But something that's possible. I did it with Ugly Stepsister in makeup, and it got in. So I'm just saying, it could take you places. Be ready over there. Yeah. Okay, all right. So we're getting some advice here. Yeah, you don't think that story's too... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it's an American story for sure, but that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for... You're talking about BAFTA, right? Yeah, BAFTA. You don't think it's too... Because I've got Nuremberg in that spot right now, and I thought about Train Dreams. But it's like a lot of narration in that film, right? A lot of... It's quiet, right? A lot of soaking in the imagery and kind of like what's happening on screen versus on the page. And I'm just thinking this through as I'm talking to you. So I did have Train Dreams in that spot initially, but then I started kind of thinking about all this stuff. Did Sing Sing get in there? The same writers. I can't remember. Did Sing Sing get in there at BAFTA? That might actually help make my decision there. So you got Wicked getting 2 over there. Okay. We're getting somewhere now. We're cooking with grease now. Is that what they say? That's not what they say, right? They say oil. What do they say? Who cooks with grease? What is that? Is that what they say? Is that the saying? I don't know what the saying is. I've got it getting 4, but I'm also a Wicked fanboy. And I'm also in denial about what's been happening. So that could have something to do with it. But I've got it getting production design, costume design, makeup, and visual effects. And what did you have? You had... Oh, you didn't say. You just said you had 2. So you probably have costumes and makeup probably, right? I feel like those are probably the most likely. Yeah, but we'll see. I just love Wicked. I want it to end the season on a high note, but you know, if it blanks at the BAFTAs, we're gonna have to figure something out. I mean, right? That seems impossible to blank at the Oscars and the BAFTAs. That seems like we're in borderline controversy territory, you know, conspiracy territory at that point. I'm starting to think sentimental. Let's see what Pandemic says here. I'm starting to think sentimental value is going to take Best International. Are you talking about the Oscars? I think it's definitely between Secret Agent, sentimental value, and I've always said it was just an accident, you know, for international, especially if it had ended up in the Best Picture, which of course it didn't. But I've got Secret Agent predicted right now, and I was kind of talking about the passion behind, or Brazil being behind the film. So that's what I'm predicting right this second. Wagner's obviously really strong. A lot of eyeballs on that movie as of late. And then, you know, it was just an accident. Kind of went this way for me from 1 to 3 when I kind of made that decision. And sentimental value has always been right there in that runner-up spot. So it's definitely strong, and it definitely has the industry narrative tied into it. So it could very easily win. It's going to have an acting prize, at least one, you would think, with Stellan, right? So I don't think Wagner can win in Best Actor. I mean, he could, so I won't say he can't win. He does stand somewhat of a chance. But of the ones you're looking at, the most likely acting prize is probably sentimental value, which is going to go a long way. And they're in Best Picture, but it was just an accident. Isn't. So it's probably going to be one of the 2 of them, I would say. All right, Ryan, I'll see you. I see you're taking off there. Oh, what's up, Hammy? You just got here. How you doing? Oh, my God, the Ace Eddies tomorrow? Oh, my God. My daughter didn't tell me that. She does that shit. She does stuff for them. I didn't know that. Is that on here, by the way? Do they do that on here? Ace? They're doing their nominees tomorrow, right? Do they do the Ace Eddies on here? Where are they at? They don't. All right, but you know what I can do? Let's see. Let me go back over here. I'm going to wrap up after this, guys. Let's look at the Ace Eddies together real quick. And then I will be dropping off. Where the hell did I do that at? It's right here. Let me go back. Yeah, okay. And then let me... So let's see here. So I did not know that. My daughter's probably asleep now, but I'm going to text her and be like, why didn't you tell me that? So here's their website, right? Oh my God. My computer's hitting an all-time, like, forever to do something. All right. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. I don't know why I didn't know that. Okay, so maybe I'll do you know what time they announce those? Do you know what time they announce those? Because maybe I'll do a reaction to that when I do the BAFTA reaction. Okay, so Clayton confirmed there. Did you see that? Who asked me that earlier? Because I did not know. That is crazy. Has that ever happened, Clayton? I wonder if that's ever happened. But that did get me thinking with Avatar, because I was like a lot of people, like, what the hell is this? And then a buddy of mine that I went on a podcast was telling me about, it's the literal design of the costumes, not the actual costumes themselves, essentially. I mean, I guess that's part of it, seeing it in action, but I didn't know that. Yeah, it's all really fascinating the way that kind of came together. It's almost a good thing that it happened, because now I know. Thanks, man. I appreciate you popping in. It means a lot that you were here, and thanks for the super chat, and I hope to see more of you out there, brother. Okay. So you're going to be talking to Wagner on Wednesday on Variety. I'll be checking that out, as always. But thanks for being here, brother. I appreciate it. If you're still here, but if not, thank you so much. And thanks for the support. All right, so you guys were telling me, don't worry, darling. Got that one, got that one. Okay, yeah, so Nickel Boys did not get the nomination. Yeah, that's fucking insane to me. That's insane to me. I'm going to be dropping off and just making sure I don't have any last-second questions. I saw the super chat, I believe. Yeah, I don't have this either. This is going to piss me off if that's the only place you can watch it. I think there is a couple. What's up, Dr. Robert? My guy. First time seeing you. I like seeing you pop up there, though, man. How are you? Also, what's 13? Oh, you're talking about for one battle? Yeah, I knew it was around 13. Okay, good. Gas. What did I say? I was like, that can't be it. And then I was like, it's got to be cooking with oil. And then I'm like, that doesn't sound right either. It is cooking with gas. You're right. Thank you for telling me that. I would have been thinking about that all night. The Eddie Awards are February 27th. And Sing Sing was nominated for Adapted at the BAFTAs. All right. Well, that might do that then. Okay. So I wonder if I stick with Nuremberg as a swing, or if I put in Train Dreams now, because I was going to look that up and Lewis just told me. So I don't know. That's something to think about. Maybe I will trade that out for Train Dreams. I think that's going to be the 5 that a lot of people have, though, too, which always kind of freaks me out a little bit. Let me go back to my screen so I can wrap up. Yeah, I don't need my phone on there anymore, though. Okay. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. This went a lot longer than I anticipated. I'm going to be doing some editing tonight. If any of my members are still here, I might do a separate member stream just so you guys can hang out with me while I'm editing. If anybody else, you guys are the best. Thank you for all the super chats. Clayton Davis popped in tonight. He's the man. Make sure you follow him over there at Variety if you don't already. I get a lot of information from him throughout the year, so he's a great dude. I really appreciate his support tonight. And you guys are awesome. So if you are into it, channel memberships, you just click join on the little YouTube thing, and you can help me out, keep me funded out here in the garage. Let me keep doing this even after award season. It means a lot. And thank you to all my current members. You guys are the best. We're almost at 6,000 subs. And I really just started diving deep into this about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago for award season stuff. So that's pretty good growth in just a couple years, and over 50 channel members, like I said. So I really appreciate all the support, all the growth as of late, and familiar faces. It's awesome to see you guys. You guys are the best. You really are. And I will, just so you guys know, especially regulars and members, I will have a reaction to the BAFTA nominations and the WGA, what ends up getting in there tomorrow, probably in the same video. It might be my sons reading them to me, and then I'll react, or it might be me watching the stream. It just depends on the timing, because obviously UK time is different than where I am. So, but there will be a reaction up at some point tomorrow, and then members will be getting my Best Picture ranking soon, and then it'll be up on the channel for everybody. I think I'm going to try to do on Friday or Saturday, so that'll be up by the end of the week. And we'll keep rolling. We'll keep rolling award season and keep seeing how this shakes out. I think it's going to be really exciting, and I think it's going to be even more. And I was a huge Anora guy, and I think it's going to be even more exciting than last year. So you guys are the best. Look for all kinds of stuff this week on the channel. And if you are snowed in, be safe. Okay, be safe out there. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm going to end the stream, and if you watch this back later, drop any comments down below, and I'll read those too. I'm going to update my BAFTA predictions a little bit before I go to bed tonight. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in.